Hello guys, welcome back to the Debug Arena. In this video, I am going to teach React.js from scratch. Even if you don't know anything about React, this video is made just for you. Now, the best way to learn any language is simple. First, understand the syntax and fundamental of that language. Then, build a real project to apply what you have learned. So, in this video, I will first teach you all the important React concepts step by step. Then we will put everything into action by building an expense tracker app in React.js. And don't worry, I will explain every concept as we go. But before we start, let me show you a quick demo of the expense tracker app that you will have by the end of this video. After that, I will walk you through the blueprint of this tutorial, what topics we will cover and what prerequisite you need to follow along. Sounds exciting? Let's get started. Okay, you can see here, this is my expense tracker app, which is totally made on React. And you can see currently it is hosted on Vercel. Before I show you all the functionality of the application, let me tell you one thing, that this application is totally based on front end. There is no backend or database involved in this application. And for storing the data, I'm using the local storage. But you know one thing, after going through all the functionality, you will not believe that there is no backend and database involved. Okay, so you can see at the top, I am having the navbar through which I can navigate to different pages of my application. And whenever I'm navigating to different pages, my application is not getting reloaded because this is made on React, and React supports single page application. We will talk about that later. And in the dashboard, here I am showing the current balance, which is the sum of total income minus total expenses. And to make our application visually good, I have given green color to all the incomes and red color to all the expenses. If I scroll down here, I have created two cards. In the one of the card, I'm showing the recent transaction along with the category of that transaction, and here whether they are expenses or income. And on the other card, I am showing a chart of the expenses that I have spent on the category, like the amount I have spent on each category, and it is looking totally good and it provide good amount of information directly from the chart. Then I will move to the transaction. In the transaction page, I am listing down all the transaction along with the date, income type, and the description of the transaction along with edit and delete button. Okay. So now you can see currently I am having only one income, which is 10,000. So I will go to dashboard. Okay. And then I will add the transaction and then I will add another income and it will be 5,000. And category, I will select other, and here I will just select YouTube. And then here we have to select the date, and you know what, I have also added a field validation, like if user don't enter all the data and click on add transaction, you can see you will get the error message. I'll click on OK. Now I will select the date, so it will be 9, and then I will select add transaction, and I have got the message income added successfully, as we are adding income here. Okay, then I will move to our dashboard, and you can see the data is updated. 10,700 is balance, total income, here others, and here we have added 5,000. Then I will go to transaction, and here also you can see my new transaction is listed here, okay, along with all the details. Now let me go to the reports. In the reports section, I have added the filter based on the month. Okay, and I am also showing two type of graph. One is pie chart of category wise expense breakdown, and one is income and expense. Like this is the income in this month, which is 5,000, and the expense is 3,300. Okay, now this is of March, so what I will do, I will go to transaction, and here we also get the option to do edit. So this last transaction which I have added, I will just edit it. Once we go to edit, all the data will be pre-populated. Okay, and this is the same page, just all the data pre-populated, and the button name has changed to update transaction. I will change the date and make it to the April. Okay, and it will be 9th April. Then I will click on update transaction. So income updated successfully. Then I will go to transaction. Nothing has changed, just the date has changed. But when I go to reports, you can see now the total income in the March is 0 because we have not added it. Okay, income we have added it in the April. So I will go to April, and you can see this is the filter. Here we don't have any expense in this month. That's why I'm getting this no transaction found. Okay, and that's it for the reports page. In the transaction, I also have the option to delete. So here, let me just delete this groceries. And if I go to dashboard, you can see the incomes have been reduced and the expenses for the groceries have been gone. And here there's another option in this nav bar, which is to get code. So in this application, there was no involvement of API, but I wanted to teach you about fetch or Axios, like how to fetch the API and all. That's why I've added this button which will fetch the code from the free API and will show us in a pop-up. So when I will click on this, you can see I will get a motivational quote here. So whatever you lose, you will find it again, but what you throw away, you will never get back. Wow, what a motivation. Let me just close it. And then at last, I have given you a reset button. I have already told you that I'm not using any backend or database. I'm using the local storage. So this data will persist in your browser until you clears it. Like, even if I copy this URL and then go to new window and paste it there, you can see it will be open and all the data will persist. But when I click on this reset, all the data will be reset to the default. So let me just click on this and you can see we have got zero data, and here we are getting this message, no transaction found, no transaction found. And this will be the case for everything. Okay, so this is the application which we are going to make in today's video. So without any delay, let's get started. Now let's go to the prerequisite and the blueprint of this tutorial. So there are some prerequisite which you should know before starting the React. And the first and the most important prerequisite is you should know HTML and CSS pretty well, and a little bit of JavaScript. Like in HTML and CSS, you should know about all the important tags which we use more frequently. And in CSS, you should know almost all the CSS property. In this video, I'm going to write and explain each and every line of code except the CSS part. Okay, so that I think you can create a better design for me. So I will leave that CSS part with you. And in JavaScript, you should know about function, arrays, strings, like the basic thing, let and the const variable. Rest, I am here, I will take care for you. Then we will move on to the Git and the GitHub. Git and the GitHub is not required, but as we want to deploy this application, so at that time it will be required that we upload our code to the GitHub. So for that, it is better that you install React.js, Node.js and GitHub in your laptop, because I'm not going to cover the installation part. Okay, and rest I will cover, so don't worry. Now after this, I will teach you about React basic fundamental, like what is React, how to set up the React project, and what is folder structure and the project flow of the React application. And after this, we will see about the core concept of React, which is function, returns, components, how to create the component, how to pass data between two components, how to pass data from parent to child, child to parent, how to pass data between two pages, and everything. I will also show how to navigate between the pages without reloading the application. Okay, then we will see about React hooks and lifecycle, and then event handling and the destructuring and spread operator. Okay, and once this is done, I will move on to the routing and the navigation by creating the React navigation bar. So React provide its own router because we don't want to reload the whole application, but we want to navigate. So that's why React router is important. After this, I will move on to the forms, like creating the form, storing the data from the form to the local storage, retrieving the data from local storage, showing it in a table using this method .map, filter, for each, and other method also. And I will also show error handling and the conditional re-rendering. And then we will create, delete, and editing items in the state. So that's fine. After that, I will show you how we can call API using fetch along with the async and the await. Here also we will handle the errors, and then we will display the fetch data dynamically. Okay, and once all of these things are done, we will move on to showing the chart in our application. For showing the chart, I'm going to use React Chart.js2, which is a JavaScript library. Okay, this is also a library. And at last, I will add all the functionality which I have shown and will deploy the application on the Vercel, so that you can add this project in your resume. Just one thing, there might be some topic which I have not listed here, but believe me, I'm going to teach you each and every important fundamental topics of React in this video. After finishing this video, you are going to definitely understand each and every React project existing in this planet. Okay, so now let's move on to the first part, which is what is React and why we should use it. Okay, so what is React? React is a JavaScript library used for building fast and interactive single page application using a component based approach. So this was a definition. Let me explain in a simple term. Okay, so first let's see what is meant by single page application. So if I take you to this Flipkart website, okay, and here there are many links, same like navigation bar, but if you focus on this reload button, if I click on this mobile, this reload button is getting triggered. Okay, this means the whole application is getting reloaded. So this is not a single page application, because we are having multiple pages. But if I take you to the YouTube, here also we are having this navigation bar, left panel, right panel. But if you focus on this reload button, and if I move on to my view your channel, okay, you can see the reload button is not getting reloaded. Like there was a loading bar, but the whole application doesn't got reloaded. So this is known as a single page application. That means this YouTube will reload only once. After this, whenever you navigate, only a particular component will reload and we will get the updated data. So this is mean by the single page application. If you are here, then please make sure to subscribe to our channel and check out my previous videos. Now let's move on to the another term, which is JavaScript library. You might have heard these two terms, library and the framework. React is a library, Angular is a framework. So what is the difference between them? So the major difference is you can assume library as a collection of a reusable function that we can call whenever we need it. Okay, like we are having full control of that function. So we can assume it like a toolbox in that we are having n number of tools. We can use them whenever we need it. But the framework is like a complete structure with the set of the rules. Okay, we cannot go against the rules. Like if in Angular we want to create a component, we have to create the 4 different files. But in React, if you want to create a component, you can create a one file only, and in the one file you can write everything, or you can create 2 file, 3 file. It's on you, like you have full control. And the framework is like a recipe book. You follow its rules and it tells you how to cook. If you don't follow it, your food will be spoiled. So that was the easiest definition of library and framework. You can read about the advantages, because all these advantages I will show you while teaching React.js. Okay, now I am hoping that you have already installed React.js in your laptop. Now let's move on and create new React project. Okay, now I will go to one folder and then I will open the CMD. You can directly open it in Visual Studio Code also, but I prefer the CMD. And here we have to run this command, npx create react app @latest and the name of our app, which is expense tracker, and hit enter. And let's wait for the project to be created. Okay, our project is created and you can see here are the steps if we want to run that application. So first I will move to that folder. So here I will write cd expense tracker. This is the name of the folder. Like you can see here, inside this folder expense tracker has been created. So I'm moving to that and I will hit enter. And here to start the React application, we have to run this command, which is npm start. Let it start. Till then, I will go to my application here in the project explorer. So file explorer, I will open this, and this is the project structure. Let me open it in the VS Code. So I will click here, open with code, and you can see this is the folder structure of the React application. The first folder is package.json. This is the most important folder because here we get the information about our React version, what are the packages and dependencies installed in our application. Like you can see, this is a React version, this is a React DOM version, and the React script version. And in the future, we are going to use a React icons. So that is another package in itself. So when we will install it now, it will be listed here inside some dependency or packages. Okay. And all the packages which get installed here, that packages will be installed inside this node modules. Okay. So this node modules we don't have to touch. And this package.json also we don't have to touch. We can use it for the reference for checking the version of each package. Package log.json is also the same. It provides the accurate version of the package. Okay. So this was about these two files. After this, we are having this git ignore. In this, we mention all the files which we don't want to be uploaded in the git. Like in future, when we will push our code to the git, we don't want this node module to be go on there, because whenever we run the React application, we have to run npm install, which will automatically install all the packages mentioned here. And whenever all the packages will be installed, these node modules will automatically be created. So there is no need to upload this file to the GitHub. Okay. After this, one of the most important file is this public file, which is a static file. That means in this, we store the static element like this favicon.icon. This is the icon which is shown in the toolbar. Like if I go here, this is my expense tracker app, and you can see this is the icon, and this is known as a favicon. Okay. And my React server is already started. So let me just go to localhost 3000, and you can see this is my React app. Here also, this is the favicon icon. Okay. Then we have index.html. I will come here, and after this we have some logos and etc. Okay. Then we will move on to src. This is the most important file in the React application, because in this file only we will keep all of our code, and from here only the React application gets started. So in this we have app.css, where we can mention all of our css. If we want, we can create another css file also, but this is the default css file which is created. This app.js is the first component which is created by default, and it is getting called. And then we have this index.css, which is also like a global css. Then we have this index.js, which is the starting point of the application. I will talk about that, no issue, and rest of the files we can ignore. Now move on to the flow of the application, like how the React application works. So if you think about this, what we are building, we are trying to build a web application, and where we open that web application in the browser, and which language browser supports, it's HTML. So for sure we would want a file with the HTML extension, and that is inside public. Okay, this is the index.html file. This is the first file which is loaded in the browser. Okay, this is not the starting point of the React application, no, but this is the first file which gets loaded in the application. And here we defines all the basic parameters like link, meta tag, etc. Here only we set the title. So in the title I will change it to expense tracker. And here if you see in the body, what we have done, we have created a empty div with the id as a root. Okay, so this is the first file which get loaded in the browser. But what is the starting point of the application? The starting point of the application is index.js. I will go to index.js. Here you can see what we are doing. Here we are accessing the root element which is present inside index.html. That is empty, that root div is empty. Okay, so this index.html is like a container, or like the default structure which is getting created in the browser. Now we have to feed the content to it, and that content is provided by the index.js. Inside index.js you can see we are accessing document.getElement by id root. So this is the basic JavaScript. In the root I am having the reference to that div which is currently empty. And then we have written here root.render. Render or rendering is the process of showing the element to the UI. That's it. And inside the render we have specified our component which is app. For now let's forget about this react.strict mode. Even if we comment this it will work, but for now let's forget about that. So here what is going on, index.html provide us with the basic container. Here we are accessing that container and feeding the elements or feeding the components to that container. So that means in that container our app will be shown. Now let me just go to this app, and inside this app I'm showing the image, edit, and etc., which we are getting as an output currently, like this here. Okay, so let me just do one thing. I will just come here and let's remove everything, and here I will just write hello from app. Save this. Let's go and check the output, and you can see I'm getting here hello from app. And if I inspect it like F12 and go to elements, so here you can see what I'm having: HTML head body. Inside body what I'm having, I am having the div id root which is my index.html. In the root what I'm having, in the root I'm having class app which is my class component, and here I am having hello from app. So this is the project structure and the flow of the React application. I hope you have understand each and everything and the importance of all the files. Okay, now you can see here this is app.js. The extension is JavaScript. So this is a JavaScript file. So now what I will do, I will just remove everything and let's create a function. We can give the function name anything. So for now, let me just give it as main. Okay, and I will create this function. And you know, in JavaScript in a file, we can create n number of function, but there should be a one function that is exported from this document so that the all other function can be used in some other file. Okay, so here what I will do, I will just console.log from main. Okay, so this is like the basic JavaScript function. Now we want it to be called. Where it will be called, as I have already told you that index.js is triggering the component. So for now I will just export it, and I will export as default and main. Okay, so this is exported. Now I will go to index.js. Here we are accessing the app, but that's not the case. So for now I will just remove the import also, and now let's access the main, and it should be imported from .app. Okay, I will save this. Now let's go to the application, and here you can see in the UI I'm getting nothing because the root is empty, but in console I'm getting from main. That means our function is getting executed. Why it is coming two time, that we will discuss it later. But for now, the point is this console is coming. That means this component is getting called app.js even if its name is main. So you can put the name anything. So this was basic JavaScript, but we don't want to do this in React. Okay, we want to show the UI also. So for showing the UI, React uses the concept known as JSX. JSX stands for JavaScript XML. So in React, it provides us the JSX so that in the same file or in the same function, we can write this type of code, that is the logical code, and also the HTML code, how we can write. So in JSX, every function can have logical commands and the HTML commands. So HTML command, we can write it inside return. So I will just write here return, and inside the return I will create a div. Okay, and in the div I will just write here hi. I will just save this. Let's go there, and here you can see I'm getting the hi. So along with the hi, I'm also getting the console. So this is possible only because of JSX, because it allows us to write the logical as well as the HTML code also. So this was about the basic flow of the component. Now we have added a JavaScript in the same file. We have added the HTML in the same file. Can we add the CSS? And the answer is yes. How? There are multiple ways in which we can add a CSS. The first one is the inline CSS, same like the HTML. So what I will do, I will come here and I will write here style. It is different from our normal HTML, and in this we have to write it like these two curly braces. Okay, and in this I can directly write as background color. Here you can see I'm getting recommendation also. If you don't get recommendation, just click on control spacebar, so you will get it. Then here I will just assign it as red and I will save it. Then let's check the output, and you can see I'm getting my background color as red. So this is how you can add inline CSS. Now there's another way, is that we can create a CSS class like this, which is app.css, or index.css, which is a global class. So what I will do, in the index.css I will come here and I will just write here dot first div. In this I will just add background color as blue. Okay, save this, go to app.js, remove this styling, and here instead of class we have to pass it class name. Okay, and our class name is first div. Save this, let's go and check the output, and you can see I'm getting color as blue. But now you might be thinking, from where it is taking that? Like, in this file I've not mentioned anything about index.css. How he got to know that this first.div is inside index.css? And the answer is through index.js. Let me go to index.js, and here you can see we are having this import index.css. So that means whatever component we are calling here, okay, in that component we will be having that class, and here we are importing it. Okay, so this is the hierarchy. This is at the global level, so it will directly access it. If we want, we can write it in app.css also. So let me just remove it from index.css, move it to app.css. Okay, like this, save this, save this, and now it will be removed it. Okay, like you can see there's no background, and the answer is obvious because in app.js there is no mention of app.css. So what I will do, I will come here and I will just write import single dot slash app.css, and I will save this. Let's go here, check the output, and you can see I'm getting background as blue. So this is how you can import CSS in each component. Like, it is not required you always keep your code in app.css. You can keep all the CSS code in that particular component file. Okay, now let's move on to what are components. Like, as I have already told you, React is a component based modular structure. So what is mean by that? So the components are the smaller piece of code in your application that are reusable. Like, what is mean by that? So if I take you to my expense tracker application, you can see here there are many components. Can you identify it? Like, if you see, this is a dashboard page, okay? And in the dashboard page, I'm having this navbar. So navbar is a one component. Like, I've created a navbar file, and in that I've written the code related to the navbar. Then I've created another file named as dashboard. In that I've imported that one navbar component which is showing me everything. In the same way, I have created these two cards. Okay, these two are the components, and these two are also the components. So they are four different files, but inside dashboard, I have just restacked them so that they are looking like a single page. So this is known by component, like a piece of code which you write it once and reuse it whenever you require, like the same card we are using here also. Okay, so there was no need to create the same UI twice. Okay, now let's go to the code and create our own component. So I will come here, and inside this src only, I will create a folder components, and in the component I will create home.js. Here I will create a function. I've already told you we have to export it. Okay, in this component we have to return the UI, so we have to write return. Inside the return I will just write div, and for now I will just write home component. Save this. Now I will go to app.js. Now here I want that home component, so what I will do, I will come here, and here you can see how you write the tag. We open the bracket, then we have written div. So what is our component is home, home, h capital. So I have written home. You can see it is imported from component, which is my folder slash home, and here we have to close it here only, just like the form tag. Like form tag, how we write it like this. So in the same way we have to write it for the component. Now what should be the output? The output will be, let me just show you, and you can see this is the output. At the top I am having the home component, and after that I am having the high. And now you might be thinking why the background is blue. The background is blue because in the code, this home is inside this first div, and first div has background as blue. Now let me just remove this from here and let's add it here. What should be the output? Oops, I'm getting the error. Why? And the reason for the error is that this is one element and this is another element. Okay, so there is no parent element. A one file can only return one container, and in the container it can have many things. So if I do it like this, currently it is having only one container, which is first div. That's why it is working fine. But now it is having two containers, so it is giving me error. To fix this, there are two ways. Either you can add a parent div, and in this div you can put the whole code, but this method introduces the another div, and which might affect CSS sometime. So the better way is that using the fragment. So I will just Control Z, and here I will add the fragment, which is like this: the empty, open, and the close tag. It will not add any div in the browser, and also it will not give the error. So it does our job easily. I will save this. And now if you see the output, home component does not have blue background because this whole coming from the home component, and this is coming high, which is from my app.js. So this is how we can use the component. So that was good. Before moving forward, if you guys are following me till here, then I request you guys to please like the video, comment on the video that whether you are understanding each and every concept till now or not, and make sure to share the video with your friends. I want to grow my channel so that I will be motivated and will be continuing creating this type of video. And please let me know in comments whether you are understanding each and every concept or not, and what are the things I can improve from the next tutorial. Now let's move on to the another important thing, which is how to pass data to the component. Okay, so like here you can see this is a home and this is a parent, and sometimes there will be requirement that we have to pass the data from this component to that component. How we can do that? For that, let's come here. Currently I'm writing pure JavaScript, nothing else. I will create a let, and I will create a variable name as, and I will assign it as Adarsh. Okay, fine. Then I will come here in at the home, and as I have already told you, this is like a tag, and all the tag have attribute like this. So the component tag can also have a attribute. So what I will do here, I will write here name, and I will pass it as name. So this is the name of the attribute through which we can access it inside this home variable. Okay, and this is the name of the variable which is referring here. Instead of this name I can directly pass others also, but this is a good way. Now I will go to home. For going to any component directly, what you have to do, you have to do control and then click on this component, and it will take you directly here. Now I'm inside the component. So to get the data from parent component to child component, like this app.js is parent component, because app.js is using this home for a small kind of work. Like this is having all other content also. Home is just a part of that. So this is known as a parent component app, and home is a child component. So we are passing a data from parent to child. Okay. So whenever you hear this term, how to pass data from parent to child, always remember one thing: through props. So here you know this is a function, and if you recall the basic JavaScript, a function can have the attribute or parameters. What is meant by the parameters? Parameters are like the variable that we are sending from the place we are calling it. So where we are calling this home function in app.js, what are the parameter we are sending? Name. So from where we can access this parameter? Through this parenthesis. So in this, what I will write? I will write props. I've already told you we can access the data through props. Then here I will come and I will just console.log props. Okay, I'm directly consoling it, nothing else. Okay, and here I will mention from home. Save this, save this app.js. Let's go to check the output. And here you can see that home.js2 line is showing me this name others. Like I have consoled the props. In the props, it is having the name which is coming from parent component. Okay, fine. Now I will come here and I will go to home.js. Now inside the props, I am having the data. How I can show? I can show it directly inside the curly braces. Okay, this curly braces is known as the expression syntax, in which we can pass a variable which make our code dynamic. Okay, so here I can directly pass props dot name. Save this. Let's go to the UI, and here you can see in the UI what I'm getting: home component and my name. So this is how you can pass the data from parent to child. Now let me show you one issue. I will come here. I will go to app.js. Okay, and here after hi, let me just print this name. How will I print this name? Through this expression, and inside this I can print the name. For now, let me just remove this component. I'm commenting it. For commenting, you can just press control and question mark. Comments are like the piece of code that will not be executed. Okay, but it is used for a reference. So now I will come here, and here you can see I'm getting high others. That's fine. Let me just remove the background also. This is very irritating. I'm not good at CSS. So let me just remove it. Fine. Okay. Now I will come here and let me just write here a function set timeout. This is a basic set timeout. You might have learned this in the JavaScript. So it is used to execute a particular line of code after few seconds. So this is a syntax. Okay, and in the syntax I can just write name is equals to the debug arena, remove it from here, paste it here, and this code should run after 1 second. Okay, now what is the expected output? The expected output is, first I will get the name as Adarsh, and after 1 second the output should change to the debug arena. Okay, so here I will do one more thing, which is here I will just console.log name, and here also after 1 second I will console.log the name after timeout. Okay, let's save this. Let's go to the application, and in the application what you see? In the application I'm getting hi Adarsh, but in the console I'm getting the debug arena after timeout. So in the console at the line number app.js 8 I have got the others, which is correct, and after 1 second I have got the debug arena also. But why it is not getting updated in the UI? This is weird. It should be updated because my variable is having the updated data, so it should update in the UI. Why it is not updating? It is not updating because our application or our UI is not getting rendered. So React follows the concept of virtual DOM. If I show you, I will come here and let me just write here something. Okay, and save this. Then you can see the application is not getting reloaded and our changes are getting reflected too quick. Why? This is because of virtual DOM. React application create the virtual DOM, which is the replica of the real DOM, and whenever we make the changes in the code, that code changes is reflected in the virtual DOM first, and we got the output, and then it is updated in the real DOM. Okay, so you can learn about the virtual DOM and real DOM in some other video, like a properly dedicated video, but for now you can just think about this only, that virtual DOM is a replica of the real DOM. Whenever we make the changes, it changes first in the virtual DOM and then the real DOM. And the reason we are not getting output here, that after 1 second the UI is not getting rendered. If we remove this line and paste it after this 14, okay, now this line will be executed after 1 second. Let's see what is the output. If I come here, and you can see now the output is same what we are getting in the UI. Okay, that is my variable is changed, but this is already printed, so we are not getting the updated data. So if you think about this as a JavaScript point of view, this is a function. Okay, and this function will be executed only once. That's fine. Once it is executed, it is executing each and every line, and this line is getting executed after 1 second. But once this is executed, we have to execute all of this function in order to get the updated data. If we are not able to execute this function again or re-render the UI again, then we will not getting the updated data. So here the requirement is that whenever there is a change in the variable or a data, we want to re-render the UI in order to get the updated data. So whenever there will be the change in the variable, the application should directly know and it should re-render this return UI so that it will give us the updated data. Here comes the concept of useState in React.js. Okay, so what is useState? useState is a type of a hook in React.js. So what are hooks in React.js? Hooks are the special function provided by React.js so that we can perform a difficult operation easily. There are multiple hooks provided by React.js like useState, useEffect, useNavigate. We will use all of them once we require them. Okay, but for now, let's see what is useState. So useState is a type of a hook that is used to store the variables, and whenever there is a change in the variable of the use state, it re-renders the UI. That's the most important part. Okay, now let me show you with the help of an example. So for now, I will just remove these things. Okay, and here I will create the use state. So to create the use state, what we have to do, we have to write here const, and in the const we have to write array. Here we have to pass two things. One is the name of the use state and the another is the name of the function which will set the use state. So here I will just write name state. That's fine. And then we have to pass it here another thing which is set name state. This variable name you can pass it anything like 1 2 3 4 5 6 anything, but this is the common procedure. This is the name of the variable and this is the name of the variable which set these variables. Okay, and here equal to use state. This use state should be imported from React. Okay, and here this is like a function, so I will write it like this, and in this we can pass the default value. For now default value will be Adarsh. Fine. If you want, you can pass it here number, object, anything. So this is the syntax of the use state. This is the variable in which this data got stored, and if we want to change this variable, we can change it using this. Fine. This is like a function. Now let me just come here, and instead of hi name I can just pass here hey, name state. Okay, save this. Let's go to the application, and here you can see still I am getting hi others, no change. Let me just reload this. You can see there is no change. Now I will go here to the code, and after 1 second set timeout, what I will do, I will just write here set name state. As I have already told you, this is a function, and inside function I can set the new value. So the new value I will write here the debug. I will save this. I will come here, and you can see after 1 second my state got changed and it is reflected in the UI. Like if I again show you, let me reload it. My application got reloaded for the first time. I have got 4 console. After 1 second my application got reloaded once again and I've got the console once again. This means after 1 second useState has caused my application to re-render in order to get me the updated data. So this is the main use of useState, to store the data and to re-render our application so that we can get the updated data in the UI. Now let me clear all of this thing and I will create function app again, because app is the basic name which we should follow. I will export it also. In this, I will create a state name as count. This is the name of the variable which will store the data. Then I have to change it. So I will write here set count. What is syntax? Set state. And in the count for now, I will set it as 0. Okay, cool. Then I will write here return. Inside the return, I will write React fragments. And then I will create a button and it will be increase count. Okay. And then here I will write a on click function. This is known as event handler. So what is mean by event? So suppose we have a button and when we click it, okay, so this is known by event. A button is clicked, a arrow is clicked up or down. So this is known by event and we can track it. It is known as event tracker. Okay. So here the button or input have many event like on blur, on type, on change text. You can explore it. I will tell you the most important one. So here I will write here on click. Okay. So whenever this button is clicked, we will call a function and let's give a function name as increase count. Then I will come here. I have already told you we can create multiple function inside a function. So I will call function increase count. And in this count, what we have to do? We have to increase this count which is having 0. So what I will do, I will just set count. Okay, Now how we have to increase it? Like if I write here 1, okay, and then I will come here and I will just show the count here. Let's see the output. Okay, it will not work because in index.js we have written it like this. So let me just remove it, come here, write it app, and it should be imported. Now it should work. So I will go to this, and you can see I'm getting increase count. CSS, don't worry, you can tackle. When I click on this increase count, it got changed to 1. But when I click on this, it is not changing. Why? Because we have set 1 as a static only. Like we have to increase the count from previous count. That how we can get, that we can get through this variable. So currently this count variable is having 0. So if I write here count plus 1, what will happen? Count having 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. So it will be 1. Now whenever this got executed, this count is changed to 1. So it will be 1 plus 1, 2. Then it got changed to 2. Then 2 plus 1, 3. Let's save this. Now let's check the output. So let me just reload this. And you can see if I click on this increase count 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So this is the use of useState in React.js to keep the track of the updated data. Now let's move on to the life cycle of React.js. Before that, this is known as a functional component. In the same way, previously we used to have a class component also, but now that is deprecated, so we can just forget that. But just remember, this is known as a functional component because this component is following the functional syntax, and the hooks are only available in the functional component. They were not available in the class component. Okay, now let's move on to the life cycle of React.js. Okay, so what is mean by life cycle? If we take example of a human being, we take birth, we grow up, we go to school, we go to college, job, and then we grow old, and at the end we die. So same like the human being, the component also follows the particular life cycle. So in React, a component has a life cycle, meaning it goes through a different stages from creation to removal. Okay, and in this there are three stages. The first one is creation, also known as mounting. The second one is updation, known as updating, and the last one is removal, which is unmounting. Okay, so previously in the class component we used to have three different function: component did mount, component did update, and component unmount to track the life cycle of a component. But now in the functional component, all of that three function is replaced by just one function known as use effect. Before moving to the use effect, all this code creates a component, and our component name is app. So whenever index.js will load this component, this logic will be executed first. Like all the lines of the code before this return will be executed, because here we will be writing all the logics of getting the data, updating the data, creating functions, calling the API, and everything. So this piece of code will execute first, so that this return UI will be executed. So now the process of creation of component is started. It is not finished yet. Okay. So in that process, first all the logics will run, then our UI will run, and after both of these, one function whose name is useEffect will run. So after useEffect, the creation of the component is done. Okay. So useEffect is a function that is called at the last of the creation of the component, and it will be called only once after the creation of the component. Okay, I hope you are getting me. So now let's create the use effect and let's see how it is running. So I will come here and I will just write here use effect. It should be imported from React, same like useState, as it is also a hook. And in this, it accepts two parameter. One is callback function and other is dependency array. Dependency array we will discuss later, but for now let me just write callback function. If you don't know about callback function, it is a function that is passed as a parameter. So if you see, this is a syntax of a function only. Okay, and in this we can pass arguments, but here instead of argument I am passing another function, so that is known as callback function. Okay, so I will write here, and I will just write here console.log use effect called. Okay, the second parameter is dependency array. So for now we have to just pass the array like this. That's it. Why we are passing, when we have to pass, what we have to pass, I will tell you everything, but for now let's see this. I will save this. Let's go and check the output, and you can see I have got use effect called. Okay, now let me just reload this. You can notice whenever we reload, this use effect is getting called twice. Why? It is because of react.strict mode. You don't have to worry about that because that is only for the development environment, so we can skip that. Okay, you can just assume that it is getting called once. Okay, so now what I will do, I will come here and let's console here inside component. So let's see which function get executed first. So I will save this, then we'll come here and you can see what I have got. I have got inside component. Now you might be thinking, where is this use effect called? I have already told you that use effect will run only once when the component is created. Currently, we have updated the component. Okay, we have not created the component. So you might be thinking when the component is getting created, it's when you reload the page. It's when you navigate from one page to another. It's when you show a component based on some condition like hiding and showing of the component, then it got created. Okay, so what I will do, simple, I will remove this and I will just reload this. And now you can see first inside component got executed and after that use effect got executed. Okay, getting my point? Now you might be thinking in which scenario this use effect will come into the picture. Actually, it is very useful. Most of the application, like most of the React application, is totally based on this use state and use effect only. So suppose you are having different pages and you want that whenever you navigate to the profile pages, the profile of a user should be fetched from backend. Okay, so now this is compulsory that whenever you navigate to that page, the API call should be made to your backend in order to get the data, and that data should be updated here. So it is simple. You just call that API in the use effect, and it will be called only once. Like whenever you update something inside this, it will not be called, but when you are navigating there, then it will be called. So it's simple. This is a basic and the most useful scenario of use effect. Now let me show you with the example of creation, updation, and deletion of a component using use effect. Now I will move to home.js. Okay, and here the first thing which I will do is call use effect. It should be imported from React, and how we can write here, we have to write it like callback function and pass one dependency array. For now it will be empty only. Okay, then here I will just console.log component, home component created. So I have already explained you when the component will be created. The component will be created when you navigate to it, or when the condition is shown that the component should be visible now. At that time the component will be created. So now when the component will be destroyed, vice versa. When you navigate away from that component, or when you try to hide that component. Okay. So in order to track the unmounting of the component or removal of the component, we can do it inside use effect only. Just we have to write it like this, return, and this will also be a callback function like this. And here I can just console.log that component is deleted, not deleted, home component is removed. So you know, when you make some big application and you might use intervals or subscribers or anything, so whenever you are navigating away from that page now, you have to set all that variable to false, so that there will be no side effect. In that case we have to track when the component is getting removed. Okay, so now this will run when the component is created, and this will run when the component is removed. Now I will save this, then I will go to app.js. Here I will just add home. So I will add home. It should be imported from its desired location, and how we declare the component like this only. So for now I will just comment the count and I will just save this. Let's go there. And here you can see what I have got. I have got home component removed. Okay, no, not like this. Home component created, then home component removed, and home component created. Just don't focus on first lines, okay, because it is due to react.strict mode. Okay, just focus on this. So we have got home component created. Okay, okay, let's remove the confusion. Let me just remove that strict mode, but it is not recommended to remove this strict mode. But just for you, as you are a beginner, I am removing this. This strict mode is just for a development environment, so that if there is any side effect, it will prevent that. Like whenever you are unsubscribing or whenever you are unmounting a component, there might be situations when the component is not unmounted just because it is in development environment. So that's why react.strict mode does everything twice. Okay, that's it. So now if I reload, you can see it is running once only. So I am getting a home component created, and I am getting it because the home component is still visible. So what I will do, I will come here and I will go to app.js. Here I will add a condition here. For that, what I will do, I will come and will create another state name as show, comma set show, and it will be use state and it will be boolean. So for now it will be true. I want whenever our app component gets loaded, home should be visible. So I hope you already know about if and else. So I want to write a condition that if show is true, then show this home, otherwise don't show. So that inside this return now we cannot write it using the if. Like if I write it like this now, I will get error. So to write the condition in this, we can use the conditional re-rendering or ternary operator like this. So we have to pass this expression, and in the expression I can pass show. So show is having true as of now, which is a boolean variable, and I can pass question mark. So if show is true, it will show the home. Otherwise, if show is false, so it will directly navigate here and it will be null. Getting my point? Okay, I will just uncomment this two lines. I will comment this count and increase. Here I will just write show, and in the function I will just comment this, and what I will do, I will just write here set show and I will set it to false. So what it will do, whenever we click on this button, it will make this variable to false and this will be hidden. Let's save this. Let's go to check the output. Let me just remove this, reload, and you can see I've got home component created, use effect called. Now when I click on this show, home got hidden and this line of code got. So this is what mean by mounting, which means creating, and unmounting, which means removing. Now let's go and check the updating part. For updation, if you see this code and if you recall my statement, I have already told that use effect will only run once when the component is created. So how it will track the updation? Use effect will track the updation based on this dependency array. Okay, so what I will do, I will just remove this use effect. Okay, and I will just remove this console also because it is looking rubbish. And here I will just control Z everything. Cool. This is the code of showing the count till now. Whenever we are pressing on this, the count is getting increased. Okay. Now what I will do, I will come here and I will write use effect, call the function, and here I will pass dependency array. And in this, what I will do, I will just console.log app component created. So this is the use effect which will be called when the component is created, and in your component you can add any numbers of use effect. Okay, so what I will do, I will just copy this and I will add another use effect, and here I will change the message to count is clicked. Okay, so I want this use effect to run whenever there is updation in the count, when the count is changed. So now you might be thinking how the React will identify when the count is changed. It will identify based on this dependency array, because in this dependency array I will pass count. So now how this use effect will run now, whenever there is change in this variable, it will run this use effect. Okay, that's it. Let me just save this. Let's go here and let me just remove everything, reload this. What I have got app component created and the count is clicked. You might be thinking why it is coming. As I have already told you, that use effect will run at least once when the component is created. Okay, so that's why we are getting both the console. Now I will remove this. Now when I click on this increase count, only one is coming, which is count is clicked, because we have added dependency of a count state in this use effect only. So that's why it is running and this is not running. If I add this count to here also, then this use effect will also run. So this is like a normal function based on the change or updation of the variable, and this process is known as updation. Okay, so if you can see, if I remove this and now if I click on this, both will run. So using this dependency array, we can do many things. It is very useful. As I have already told you, most of the big application have more lines of code based on use state and use effect only. Now let me show you one more thing is, I will remove this and I will remove the dependency array also. Now I will save this. Let's go and see what happens. Let me just reload this, and you can see I've got both the thing, and when I click on this increase count, I'm getting both the things. So whenever there is no dependency array provided, it will run for every state update. Like if I come here, okay, so currently count is getting changed, so that's why this is running. If there is a state name as show, and if that is also changed, then also this use effect will run. Okay, so this is not a good way to use effect. Always provide the dependency array. Okay, and if we provide it like this empty, it will run once. If we provide a variable, it will run once and then it will run on the updation of that variable. And if we don't provide it, sometime it run infinitely also based on the API call. But other than that, it will run every time the state is updated. Any state, if you have 100 state in your application, then for all 100 state it will run. So that is a very bad practice. But this was it about the life cycle and the use effect in React.js. I hope you are understanding each and every concept in depth, and I'm clearing all of your doubt. If you still have any difficulties, then please let me know in comment, and also make sure to like and subscribe the video and share the video with your friends. So we are done with the life cycle and the use effect, also the conditional rendering. Okay, like adding the question mark and then showing something and then showing null. If count is true, then this, otherwise that. So that was about conditional rendering. Okay, now let's move on to the routing in React. So in React we can navigate between pages using anchor tag also, but anchor tag causes the application to reload. That we don't want. For that, React provides us another package named as React Router DOM. So what I will do, I will go to my CMD or open the terminal in VS Code. So this here I have started my application. So I will just close this. Here I will run this command npm install React Router DOM, hit enter. So this is like a package provided by Node. You can just go to Google and search for it and read more about it. It is always better to read the documentation of any package to understand its terms, syntaxes and all. Like this you can see. Okay, but for now I will explain you, don't worry. So here, yeah, it is done. Then I will rerun my application again using npm start. Let's go here. And I have already told you, whenever we install a package, it will directly go to package.json. Let's go there, and you can see React Router DOM is now here with its version 7.3.0. Now what I will do, I will first close all the open file. Okay, and then this is my home.js, which is component. This is just for a reference. Now I will show you the folder structure. So I am going to follow the simple folder structure in React. As it is a library, it allows you to follow any folder structure which you want. Okay, so what I will do, I will create a new folder name of pages, and in the pages I will first put dashboard.js, and another one will be transaction.js and report.js. In all the three files I will add some content. Function dashboard, here I will return dashboard page, and at last I have to export default dashboard. Okay, so this is basic layout. I will save this, I will copy this, I will do the same thing in transaction. You can select any word and then do Control D. So it will select all the instances and we can directly write at once. Transaction. Same thing, reports, paste it here. Now I will go to my app.js. For writing the routing thing, we can create router.js, a separate file, but I prefer to add it in app.js because this is just a basic project, not a big project. So first thing, I will remove everything. Then I will remove this also, this also. I will add a simple div. And for routing, we have to import some things. So I will come here and I will write import. First, we will import browser router, which is the parent. Then we have to import routes, routes, and then route. Okay. So these three we have to import. What they will do, I will let you know. So here I will come and I will write here browser router. It will be closed, and this browser router enables routing in React application. So this is like a parent router. Without adding this, your application will not support routing without reloading. Okay, so this is like the parent tag which you have to wrap your application into it. So as I have already told you, we have to wrap it. So I can write it like this. Okay, so this has enabled routing in our application. Now in this we can add different type of routing. So what do you mean by different type of routing? Okay, let me first create one route. So here I will write routes. So this is like a particular route which will contain different pages in which we want to navigate. Okay, so in your application you can have n number of routes. Okay, but in your application you should have only one browser router as it is the main one. In these routes we can pass n number of pages which we want to navigate. So what I will do, I will write here route, and it will be self closed, and here I will write path. Path is the URL to that route. So here I will write dashboard, and then we have to pass element. In the element we have to pass the component or the page. So here I can directly write dashboard, and you can see it should be imported from here. Okay, so this is how you can design the router here. So browser router is the parent. In this browser router we can have routes is like a set of pages. Suppose you are having a big application, like there are 300 400 pages. So in that you can bifurcate 40 pages in each of the routes. Okay, but usually inside one route only we add all the pages, so no need to worry about that. So here I have added dashboard. I will save this and let's see how it works. So I will go to my application expense tracker, and here after when I do localhost, what I am getting currently, I am getting nothing. Why, that I will explain, but for now I will just write here dashboard. This is the same variable which I have added in the path, and when I click on this, you can see I'm getting nothing. And here I have got the error. This may happen if you return dashboard instead of dashboard. Okay, is he right? Oh yeah, we have to return element like this. As we are returning component, so it will be like this only, the proper tag. Then I will come here and you can see now I am getting the dashboard page. So it is navigating there. Okay, So this is about routing. Now let me just go there. Why we were not getting anything in the first place? So for that, if I remove this, if in the path there is this mark only, like there is no other path required, so this will be the default one. Okay, so it will directly navigate to the dashboard. So now if I save this, let's go here, and you can see currently in dashboard I'm getting nothing. But if I remove this, this is the main path which will loaded when the application is loaded, and here it is navigating to dashboard page. Now let me just go here and let's create the part for other pages. So I will copy this. You can copy directly using alt shift and down arrow, so it will copy down. Here I will write transaction and then reports. Here I will pass transaction, which is my another component, and reports, which is my one more component. I will save this. Let's go there. And I'm in dashboard. Now from here, if in URL, I will write report. Okay, not reports. Okay, reports also it is working fine. Did I added reports? Oh yeah, it is report. So you can see it is working fine, and I'm navigating to report page. So this is how you can navigate in React without reloading. But now as we are navigating through URL, it will get reloaded. So what I will do, I will come here, and in this I will just write here link. Link is another component provided by React Router DOM to let us navigate to other pages without reloading the application. And in this, I will just write here two. Inside this two, we have to specify the path. So I will specify this transaction, and this link should not be like this. Okay, and this transaction should be inside quotes. And here it should not be like this. It should be like this. Okay, and in the link, I can just pass here navigate. Like this is the value. Then I will again go there, and you can see here I am getting a navigate. It is same like anchor tag, just it will not reload. So just focus here. When I click on this, it does not get reloaded, but it is navigated to this transaction page. Now if you notice that I'm getting this transaction page, but I'm getting this navigation also. Why? It is because this browser router now, it is acting as a single component. Okay, like this router will always return only one page. After this page, it is acting like a normal thing. Getting my point? Like if I come here and I will just write here application, so this application will always be there. Just the content of this will change because our router is between this. So like if I go to my default page, sorry, and then I will click on navigate, you can see only this content is changing. So this is what known by component. This is acting as a single component, and these are different, and this app.js is just restructuring them. Okay, fine, that's it for the React Router DOM. React Router DOM is a huge thing. There are many things which I'm going to cover, but for now I think I have covered almost many of the important topics in React which we need to get started. Okay, so now I will just go and create the navbar, and we'll see how we can navigate between different pages, and also how we will highlight the navigation bar based on the pages we are in. I'll go to the code. These are the pages, and when we want to create a navbar is a particular component that will exist in all the pages. Okay, so that we have to create inside the component. So I will delete this home.js, as that was only for explanation. Now here I will come and I will just create a new file named as navbar.js. And for CSS, what I will do, I will go to src and create a new folder named as styles. In the styles, I will add navbar.css. You can follow any file structure, like here just create a folder named as navbar. In that put index.js, which will be for just for navbar, and index.css, which will be for navbar. In the same way, for dashboard, create a dashboard folder, and in that put two files, js or css, but I prefer this for a small project. So navbar.css, I will go here. Let's create the basic structure. Okay, this is basic div, so I will remove this. For navbar, we have to use nav, so I will write it like this. These tags are from HTML only, and here I will pass class name navbar. Then inside navbar, I first want the h1 tag, which will be my logo, so I will just write a expense tracker, and css will be logo. Then we have to show the links, so I will show the unordered links, and in the unordered links we can show the li tag, which is the list item. I hope you know all of these things. These are the pure HTML. In the li, I can directly write the dashboard, which will be my element, but you know what, I will not add this because we want this as a link. So what I will do, I have already shown you, so I will come here and I will write here link, which should be imported from React Router DOM, and in this here I will pass dashboard, so that it will act as a link. And where it will navigate to my default page. That's it, like this, nothing else. Then I will copy this li, then put it here, and it will be transaction, and it will navigate to transaction. Make sure this variable is same as what you have added in the router, otherwise it will not navigate. I will copy this and let's add for reports also. Let's add it for other two, get code and reset. I have not created a page for get code and reset, so I will just navigate them to the default page. Now I will move to app.js. We have not imported that navbar component where we will import. I've already told you this is a single component, this is different thing, and so we want navbar in every page at the top of the application. So instead of this application, I can just write here navbar like this, and it should be imported from its desired location. Save this, let's go and check the output, and you can see I'm getting the dashboard. Now let's move on to the CSS part. So CSS I have already written, I will just show you, and you can copy the screenshot or you can get it from the GitHub, or you can just write it down by pausing the video. That's fine. Sorry, I'm not going to explain the CSS because it will be very long video then. This is the CSS for the navbar where I'm adding box shadow also. This is for the logo where I'm just adding font size and font weight. This is for nav link, and this is for nav link list item, and this is when it will be active, like when it is selected, and this is just like an anchor tag. So you can take the screenshot or pause the video and copy it down, or you can create your own CSS. You will surely design the application better than me. I will save this. I'll go to navbar.js and we'll add the class name. I have added the classes. Let's see the output. And if I show you, okay, there's nothing changed. Why? Just think why it is not changed. The reason is we have created navbar.css, but we are not importing it anywhere. Okay, like we have to import it here. So how we can import? By using import statement, and in this we have to pass the location. So from here I have to go two level down. So I will just write two dot slash, then it is inside styles. So styles slash navbar.css. Okay, make sure to import it. Now I will save this, then I will go here, and you can see my expense tracker navbar is created. When I click on dashboard, it is going to dashboard. When I am clicking on transaction, it is going to transaction. When I am clicking on reports, it is going to reports. Now if I show you the demo application, so here you can see in the navbar item, I am also having the icons. So if we want to use the icons in the React, we can install a package name as React icon or font or some icon and then use it. But that I will show you when I will be importing this icon. And for these icons, these are not icons, these are emojis. Okay, and this looks beautiful because they are adding colors here. So that's why I am going to use emojis only for the navbar, but I will shortly show how to use icon in React in this video only. So what I will do, I will come here and let me just add emojis here. Okay, let's see the output, and yeah, it is beautiful. Now what are the things remaining in the navbar? When I'm at dashboard, this dashboard should be highlighted. When I will go to transaction, this transaction should be highlighted. So that we have to do. Let's see how we can do that. I will come here and I will create a variable const location. Okay, and here I'm going to take the help of another hook name as use location, which will gives us the route currently we are in. Okay, so I will just write here use location. It should be imported from React router DOM. Okay, and then for now, just to show you what I will do, I will just write it here use effect. It should be imported from React, and here I will just console.log location. To learn anything, you can just console it and see what are the variables we are getting in it, and what are the things or variables which are useful for us. Save this, let's go there, open the console, and you can see I'm getting object, and in the object what I'm getting, I'm getting the hash key and the path name transaction. You can see this is the path we are in, and we are getting that inside this variable. If I go to reports, we don't get any console. Why? Just think about it. We have just learned. Just think why we are not getting any console. The reason is use effect run only once, so we have to pass it here this location in order to run it whenever the location gets changed. So you can see now I'm getting the reports also. If I go to transaction again I'm getting the console. So from this path name I can track the location. So what I will do, I will come here, and then inside this li tag I will add class name, because when we navigate to other page, we want to highlight its link. So in navbar.css I have already added that. Like you can see here, this is navlink li.active. So if I pass this active class now to li, then its font will be bold. Okay, so we have to pass this active class whenever we are on that page. For that I will again go to navbar.css. Here class name, if I pass it active here, and let's see what will be the output, and you can see dashboard is highlighted. Okay, but when I go to transaction, still dashboard is highlighted because that is not dynamic. Let's make it dynamic. So I will come here, I will remove this, and here I will add ternary operator, conditional rendering. Okay, So here I will write location, which is my variable dot path name. In the path name, I'm getting the path is equals to this. This is like the default path. Then if this is true, then I will assign the active, otherwise nothing. Cool. Then I will copy the same thing, paste it in the li tag of the transaction. Here I will just change the part to transaction, and same thing for the reports. Getting my point how easy it is to do this? Okay, so save this, let's go there, and you can see now transaction is highlighted, dashboard is highlighted, reports is highlighted, and we are going good. Okay, this use effect I have just shown you so that we get to know what we are getting. It is not because of use effect. Okay, so still it will work. So this was about navbar. Now let's go and create a button of add transaction, and let's create a form to add the expense or income in our application. Here what I will do, add transaction is the different page. So I will come here, let's create a new file, name as add transaction.js. Let's create the basic structure. Okay, I will save this, and you know what? I will create one more page which is not found. Okay, so let me just create here not found.js. Let's create the basic structure. In this, I'm displaying nothing, just h1404 page not found, and the page you are looking for does not exist. And this page will be used for the navigation or the path which does not exist in the application. Like if I go to app.js, and here we have specified transaction and reports only. But what if the user adds another path? Like if I go to my application and let's add here something rubbish. What it does? It does nothing. It navigate here and it is also there. So this is not a good thing, and nothing is highlighted. So to fix this, what I will do, I will come here and let's add another route, and in this we have to pass just star. That means this path doesn't exist, then it will come here, and here I can pass not found. Make sure it is imported, save this, let's go there, and you can see I'm getting 404 not found. Okay, again I will come here, and now instead of dashboard, now what I will do, I will navigate to add transaction. Like for now, I have not created a button to navigate to add transaction. So for now, let me just directly create the form and all, and later we will complete the flow. Okay. So I will go to application dashboard, and you can see I'm getting add transaction page. Nice. I will remove this navigation part. So come here. Let's remove the navigation. Let's go to add transaction and let's create the form. You know what? Let me just create the HTML layout of the form, and then I will explain each line. You know what? In every page, make sure to import the React. It is good. So I will just write here React import from React. That's it. Nothing much. And you can see my form is created. Let me just add CSS also. So I will go to styles and I will add transaction.css. I will add that CSS, and you can take the screenshot or you can copy it down. Add transaction container, transaction box input, transaction type, transaction type input, label, my text area, my input, select text area common code, and this is for the focus, this is for the button, and that's it. I will save this. Let's go to add transaction, import that. How you will import, go to level down, then styles, and then I will add transaction dot css. Let's see the output. Okay, fine, it is looking good. Let me just do control minus. Yeah, better. Now let me show you. Okay, so here you can see I have created div. Here this is normal h2 tag of my heading. This is my transaction box, and in this first element is transaction type, which is a radio button. So here I have specified input type radio and value is expense, input type radio and the value is income, and this is my normal thing. Okay, then I have an input type number for my amount, and the placeholder is amount. This is my radio button. Okay, I hope you have know all of this thing because these are basic HTML. Okay, this is text area, this is input, and this is a button. Nothing extra. This is pure HTML. Now HTML is created. What should be the next step? The next step should be whatever data user is entering, we have to get that. How we can get the data? Using useState. So there are two ways in which you can get the form data. The first way is that you create different state for each input boxes. Like for this transaction type, there will be another state. For this drop down, there will be another state, amount another state, text area another state, in and date another state, and like that. Or you can create the object of one state in which you can mention everything, and then you can manipulate it. So you can follow anything, or you can use a formic also, but for now I will go with the basic and the simple approach, which is to create different state for each of the transaction. So I will come here And let's create the first state name as type comma set type equal to useState, and here its default value will be expense. Then create another state name as amount comma set amount, it will be 0. Then category, it will be empty. Then description and date. Okay, fine, I have created different state for each of the input boxes. Now what next? Now let's start with a simple thing, which is this input. So we have already talked about event handling, like on click. So like in button we can perform the on click, in the same way in input we can perform other thing. So what we have to do, we have to click on this control and space bar, and you can get all other things, okay, the different attribute and the operation you can perform in the input, like on mouse down, on mouse leave. In the same way we can write on change. So whenever user writes something in this input box, this on change will be executed, okay. So here I can just write like this, handle on change, okay, and this is the name of the function. Let's create it. So I will copy this, I will come here, let's give some space, and I will just write here function handle change like this, and here it will receive e, it will directly receive e, so no worry on that. And here I can just console.log e dot target dot value. In this we will get the value which user have entered in the particular input box, okay. So let's go there, and let's open this, and okay, let me just do control minus, okay. Now in the amount, if I enter 1, you can see I'm getting 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2. So like this, on each input change it is calling this function, okay. So this is also a event emission from this input, and we are handling and storing the data, not storing, just consoling this. Now what I will do, now I can just write here set amount, and it will be e dot target dot value. So our state amount will have the updated value. But if you see here, for every input box we will have to create this small function, so that is not a good way. That's why for the big forms we create a single state, and in that we update it. But for now I will just remove this, and I will come here, and there is another way. Like here I have written the function name, and we always call the function like this, but here it is getting directly called and is getting passed, okay. But if you are adding this now, then you have to treat it like the callback, so you have to write it like this, otherwise you will get error. Like if you write it like this, then whenever this is rendered, this function will automatically get called. If you write it like this, it will be only called when there's a change in the input box, and e will be passed. And if you want to write it like this, you will have to pass like this, okay, and you will have to manually pass e, otherwise it will not work, you will get error, okay, getting my point. So what I will do, instead of this handle change, I will directly write a function. You can write it because there is a small change only. So here I can write set amount, and it will be e dot target dot value, and you can see now I'm getting recommendations also, okay. In the same way I will come down, and let's add for description also. This is a text area, it will also be same. So I will copy this on change function, paste it here, and just I will modify set amount to description. Now this will store description. Same thing for the date, I will come here on change set date. Here in select also I will come here on change set category. Everywhere it will be e dot target dot value only. And in this radio button also, just here we don't want to use e. Why? Because this is a radio button and we have to store this value. So what we can do, I can just write here set type, and instead of e dot target dot value I can directly pass the string expense. Copy this for income also, and let's change it to income. Good, we are good. Let's save this. Now on button I will create a function on click, okay. So whenever a button will be clicked, this function will be called, and here it will be submit form. Then I will come here, change this to submit form, and here I will just console.log all the states. So console.log type comma amount category, okay. Let's save this, let's go and check the output. Let's reload this, and now here I will select income, okay. Then in amount I will give 1000, select a category, grocery, description, testing, date nothing, add transaction, and you can see I'm getting all the data, all the form data, income, 1000, testing, groceries. But if you notice one thing, when I reload the page, this radio button should be highlighted now, like it is having a value, so it should highlight. Like if I click on this add transaction, here it is giving me the expense and 0. Why? Because if I go to my form, and I will show you here, this is the default value, so I'm getting that, but it is not getting reflected in the form. Why? And the reason is, here we are only handling on change, we are not handling the value. Okay, so what does this mean? This mean I will come to this amount thing, and here I will add another parameter, which, sorry, attribute, which is from HTML only. Okay, and here I can pass just amount. So it will bind the default amount to this input tag for the first time. Getting my point? Same thing, we have to check this radio button. So radio button is not directly, so here we have to write it checked when it should be checked. This is the condition now, either this should be checked or this. So we will have to pass a condition here. So I can just write here, if my type is equals to expense, then this should be checked. Otherwise, if my type is income, then this will be checked. It is just like a normal HTML. I will save this. Let's go. And now let's reload the application. And you can see here expense is checked, and here I'm getting the 0. Okay, getting my point? Okay, understood. So we are good. I'll just remove this 0. It is not looking good. Now you know one thing, here now I have created everything separate only, like there is no common form. If you add a form, and then if you add a button, and here it will be type equal to submit, and then if you click on that button whose type is submit, the application will reload, or the form will be submitted and it will be reload. So if you want to stop that, you can write this e dot prevent default, then it will be stopped. Okay, so just for that condition, you can remember this. Now we are getting the data. After this, what we have to do, we have to store the data to local storage. Okay, so what I will do, I will come here and I will just write here local storage, which is provided by React only directly, like it is a JavaScript only. Dot set item, if we want to set any item to the local storage, we can use dot set item, and here we have to pass a key and the value. Okay, so here I will pass transactions, comma, here we have to pass the value. So for now, just let me pass the type. Okay, and I will save this. Let's go to my application, and here expense is selected. Click on the add transaction. Okay, here I've got the expense, that means that function is called. Now to check the local storage, what we have to do, we have to navigate to this application, and in this you can see a transaction is added as expense. Okay, now let me change it to income and click on this add transaction. So it is getting changed in this application. So this is like the local storage for the browser. It will be there until you clear it. How you can clear it? Either from this or from the code. Okay, and it will persist through this Chrome browser. Even if I open a new tab, not in incognito, in normal mode, then also this value will be there. How you can access this? For this you have to go to application, then this is local storage and session storage. Both are same, just little bit different. Session storage persists only for this particular tab. If you open new tab, this data will be not there, but local storage will persist for the whole browser until you clear it. Okay, and there is no last date also, like you can add, but there is no by default expiry date. And you can click on http localhost 3000. Okay, and you can see it is added. Now here, instead of this income, we have to store the whole object. So what I will do, I will come here, go to here, and here I will create another object name as const new transaction is equal to an object. In the object, what will be there? It will be type, and it will directly refer to the type. Then it will be amount. So this variable, which is a key, can refer to any name, type, type 1, type 2, type 3, anything you want. But this variable should refer to the state only where your data is stored. Okay, amount, and here I will add parse float, and in this we can pass our amount. Okay, now you know there is another way, like we want to store the category, like type is type, so I can just pass here category like this. So how it will be stored now? It will be stored like category dot category, but as both the name from left and right are same, we can pass it like one only. Okay, same thing for description and date. Getting my point? Type also I can write it like this, but just to show you, I'm writing it like this. Now let's save this, and here instead of this particular type, I can pass new transaction. Okay, let's save this. Let's go and check the output. So here I will add some amount, select category, and add transaction, and you can see I'm getting here object. Like previously it was just a string, so it stored it, but now it is showing us this object. So what I will do, I will come here and I will just add here json.stringify, so it will convert this object in a readable format. Okay, and wrap it like this. Just go there, again click on this, and you can see now I am getting it beautifully. Like if I scroll down in the down here, I'm getting amount, category, date, and type. It is looking good. So in this way, on click of add transaction or on submit of a form, you can store the data to the transaction. If you are planning to integrate the backend, then you can directly add this data to the backend. and we are done here. Now let me just alert the message, the transaction added successfully. Here instead of submit form, I will also change the name to handle add transaction. So I will do control D, handle add transaction. Then I will come here. Once this is done, I can directly alert transaction added successfully. Also, once my transaction is added, I have to empty the form. How I can empty? Just assign the default value to all of them. So I will just write here set to empty, set category to empty. Okay, let's see. Save this. Let's go here. Description also I will add. Now this time let me add date also. Click on add transaction. I've got the message, data is still there. The data is changed, 877 dining date. Okay, data is not changed. I click on this OK, and you can see the data is changed. Okay, but this hasn't cleared out. Can you figure out the reason why it is not cleared out? Like amount and expense got cleared out, but these three values have not cleared out. Why? And the direct reason is because in that two particular field I have added the value, and this value is referring to our state, and the state is empty, so it is getting empty. But for other I have not added the value, so that's why they are not getting empty. So what we can do, we can just write here value and assign it to particular state. Same thing for description also, value and the description and date. Save this, let's go there, and you can see it got empty. Okay guys, but you notice something, that even if I click on this, I'm getting transaction added successfully, but ideally we should not, because amount is empty, category is empty, and date is empty. So we have to make this as a required field. So how you make that as a required field? So suppose if I have added here form, and inside it this I have added, so through HTML also we can do, like inside this input I can just add here required, like come here and require. Currently it will not work because this is not a form. Okay, but you can do it through the require also. But to do this inside this function, what we can do, I will just come here and I will just write here one condition, that if my type will always be something, okay, expense or income, it will always be something, so we will skip the type amount. Okay, so this amount currently it will be true. If it is having a value, it will be true. So we want it to be false. So I will just add exclamation. So this is like a negative. So true to false. And this is or category or date. Here I am adding a condition that if my amount is false, category is false, and date is false, that means they are null only. Then this block will execute, and here I am returning. Whenever you return something, the code after that will not work. Like all the code inside this particular function will not work. It is same like this add transaction, because this is our function, and in this whenever we are returning the UI, that is end of the function. After this return, if you add any line of code, they will not work. Okay, so I will come here and I will just return the alert that please fill all the fields. Okay, let me save this. Let's go again. Now when I click on this add transaction, you can see I'm getting this error. Okay, but still there is one major issue. Did you notice it? If no, then ideally you should. So suppose if I click on income here, and currently amount and everything is null. Okay, and I'm adding 100 amount category as this, and let's give the date of today and click on add transaction. Transaction added successfully, and here you can see the transaction has been added. But is this the correct functionality? And the answer is no. Here this is transaction, but it should be transactions. Okay, like in this we have to store more than one transaction. It is not like that whenever we add, it is currently overwriting the existing one. That should not be the case. If we add 10 here, it should be 10, and all the 10 should be visible here. Otherwise there is no sense in making these transactions. Okay, so this is the major issue which we still have to tackle, or you can say this is your first bug in this application. So guys, just from my experience, I want to give you a tip. In web development, whenever you are working towards a functionality, don't just go and start making the functionality. No, that's totally wrong. Like I wanted to make this form, so what I have done, I have created each and every fields. After that, I have created a state for that so that I can bind the value. After that, before sending the data directly to the backend or directly storing here, I checked in the console whether I'm getting all the data or not. After I was getting my data, I tried to store that in the local. Okay, and then I noticed that the data binding is not happened here, because we have missed the value attribute. So I did that. Then our validation was missing, so I did that. Now we figured out that transaction is not getting saved properly, so we'll solve that. So you always have to go in one step at a time, otherwise it will be very difficult for you and you will spend a lot more time doing the small things also. Okay, And now coming to how we can solve this bug. So let's go to the code. Okay, and here you can see, here I am storing the data, whatever data present in the form, I am storing that in the local storage. So this is totally fine. Okay, but if you think about this, how we can solve this problem? If you think in a layman language, it is very simple, that we will first get the stored data, and then we'll append this new data to that data, and then we'll update our local storage with all the data. Okay, simple. So the first question will be, from where we can get the data? Simple, from backend or from local storage. If you are having a backend, you will write all this logic in the backend only, but I am doing in local storage, so I will get the data from local storage. Once I get the data, I will merge this data on the existing one. So if previously there were two, after adding this, it will be three. And then I will be storing the whole data in my local storage. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So here comes the concept of array. I hope you already know about array. So array is a collection of items. Okay, like this is an array, and in this I can pass n number of items like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, like this. So this is the array. In our case, we are storing the object of data. Object is made up of a key and the value pair. Okay, like this, key and value. And the transaction we have to store is in the form of array. So how we will store? We will store array of object. So this is our array, and in this we will store different object like this. Simple. Okay, so let me just remove everything, and here I will create a variable name as existing transactions. Then I will write here local storage dot get item. How we can get the item? Through key. What is the key? Transaction. For now I will leave it transaction only. After this I will change it to transactions. Okay, but whenever user will come for the first time, this transaction will be empty, so we have to handle that scenario also. So what we can do, we can just add here or operator. So whenever this will be empty now, this part of the code will be executed, and here I will assign the empty array. Okay, getting my point? So first it will check whether data exists in local storage or not. If exist, it will store that inside this, otherwise it will store the empty array. Okay, after this I am checking the field validation, it should be first only. Okay, so I will move it to here. Then this is my new transaction, it will be like that only. But what I will do, I will come here and I will create a variable updated. No, I will change its variable to current transactions, current transaction. Okay, and now here I will create a new variable name as new transaction. Okay, and here what I will do, I will create an array, because this will be object, we have to store the array, this will be object. Okay, in this first I will take my existing transaction. Okay, and then I will add my current transaction. Okay, now let me just console this all the three. So here I will console.log new transaction, and then before this I will console.log my existing transaction. Okay, let's save this, let's go, let's fill the data, add transaction, transaction added successfully. And if I go to console, you can see what I'm getting two data. The first data is not in the proper format, but that's fine because it is already existing, and the second data you can see is fine. Now let's add one more, add transaction, and you can see I'm getting the data. But if you notice here, still I'm getting only one, like 0 and 1. Currently it should be 3. Why it didn't happen? It is because it is taking only one data from each. Like here also it is treating one, and this is also it is treating one. Okay, so this should not be the case. So here we uses the spread operator. If I do it like this, three dots and then existing transaction, so what it will do, it will take all the transaction present inside existing transaction and then append this new transaction. Getting my point? Okay, now I will save this. Let's go here. Okay, let me just modify this to transactions, and this also to transactions. Okay, save this. Let's go here, and I will also go to my network, sorry, my application, and I will delete this. Okay, let's add the first one, 100, add transaction. Okay, and you can see it is added, but this time it is coming inside 0, like it is array of object. Previously it was just object. Now let's add another, and you can see whenever I am adding the new, now it is breaking, like it is not working fine. Why? What could be the reason here? So let's go here. Oh, okay, okay. If you see, I'm directly getting the local storage dot get item transaction. Okay, that's why I'm getting the error, because here while storing we used to get object, so we used json dot stringify. So whenever you use that, at the time of retrieving we should use json dot pass, so that it will come in the proper json format. Okay, getting my point? This was the point which I missed. Okay, let me save this. Let's go again and let's add another. So this time it will be 600 and add transaction. Okay, and if I scroll down you can see both are fine. Let me just delete this and add quickly two more. This time you can see both are fine. Let me add one more just to show you that it is working totally fine and very good. Yeah, everything is proper. So this is how you can work with local storage and the array. So whenever you want to copy the previous value and add a new value, you can use the spread operator like this, and it will give you the new array containing all the data. Okay, nice. Now you might be thinking that we have stored the data in the array format. How we can access that? So I hope you already know about map. If not, then don't worry, I will show you just now. So let's go and create this transaction.js page. So I will come here, go to my transaction page. Okay, here I have written this thing, so I will keep it like this only. So for now, what I will do, I will just create a variable existing transaction, and I will again fetch that local storage dot get item transactions. Okay, otherwise it will be empty. You can notice that we are storing in the local storage. That's why it is very easy to get the data in every page. If you are connecting to backend, then you can use context API. Context API is a big topic, so I'm not going to cover in this video, but if you want a detailed explanation, I have already created a video on that, so you can go and check out. So here I'm getting my existing transaction. Okay, so what I will do for now, let me show you how we can use the map. So I will come here and I will just write existing transactions, which is my array. So to use the map, this variable should always be array dot map. In the map, we have to write a callback function, and it will give us two things, value and the index. Okay, and what value? Suppose existing transaction is having a 5 data, so this code will run 5 times, and every time we will get one data one by one. So using map we can iterate through the array or a collection of data. So here what I will do, I will get the data. I don't want index for now, so let's leave that. And here I will come and I will just console.log data. Okay, let's get index also just to show you, comma I, and here I will show data comma I. Let's save this. Let's go here, go to console, remove this, go to transaction, and you can see I'm getting data at 0 index, data at 1, data at the second index. So this is how using map you can iterate through the array and get data one by one. Now what I have to do in this transaction page, I just have to create a table, and in that table map all the data, and that's it. Okay, but now you will question me that we are just consoling here, how we will show in the UI? Let's do that. So I will come here. Okay, and I will copy the same thing, exactly same thing, come inside this transaction page. Okay, currently I'm not focusing on UI, I am just showing you. Okay, here I am directly getting the error. Why? Okay, it is because we have to wrap it inside the expression. Okay, existing transaction dot map data I comma data I. Here we have to notice that this is an expression because we are using a variable which is present inside here. Okay, before the return. Okay, but here we have to return the layout also. So here this is not expression, so we have to remove this curly braces and we have to add this normal braces, and in there, and in this what we have to do, I will just add div here. Okay, because here we have to return the layout. Getting my point? If you want to return the expression, then add curly braces. Otherwise, if you want to return the UI, always add this braces. Okay, and in this, what I have to add? I have to add data dot amount. Okay, let's add amount. Let's save this. Let's go and check the output. And you can see what I'm getting. Transaction page 900, 800, and 800. This is my amount. Okay, so if I come here, so you got my point now. Here we have to use this variable, so I have added it inside the expression. Then I have to return the UI. So here I cannot write the return because return is already written. Okay, so I have added here this braces, and in this I have added a div. Inside the div again I want to use the expression that is a data, so I have written it like this. So here if I add like this type, save this, let's go there, and you can see income, expense, and expense. Good. Now let me just create a table and assign this data to there. I will come here, I will remove everything inside this div. Okay, I will add a parent div. Then here I will add h2 all transaction. After this I will create a table. I hope you already know about table, table header, table row, table data. So in the table there will be one table head, and table head will be my first row. So I will just write here tr and it will be th. And here I can pass my column headers, category, description, amount, type, and actions. Okay, fine. After this, after my table header, I will have table body. So it will be t body. And in the t body, now I have to map the data. So I will write here like this. And here I will write existing transaction dot map. Map will have two things, transaction, comma index. And this will be like callback function. Already told you, we don't have to use curly bracket. If we want to return the UI, we have to use this normal circle bracket. Okay, so in this we don't have to write tr for all the five. We can just write it once and it will execute. Okay, so I will come here and I will write a tr, and for every tr we have to assign a particular data which should be unique. Like every tr should be unique now. So how we can specify? We can specify using the key. And what is the key we can pass? Just think about it. We can pass it index, because index will always be unique. So in the tr we can pass 1 2 3 4 5 6 rows, that is 6 td. So I will just write here first table data, and it will be my tx dot category, because here I have to show the category. Then I will copy this, paste it here. This will be description. This is a data variable which we are storing in the local storage. Okay, like if I come here, you can see amount, category, date. This we have to specify there, otherwise it will not work. Amount, date, type. Okay, I will add a button later, but first let me save this and let's see the output. And you can see I am getting the table, and inside the table I am also getting the data. Okay, let's try to add one more data and let's see whether it is getting updated or not. So it will be income, amount will be add transaction, transaction added successfully, go to transaction, and you can see it is totally working fine. Okay, now let me just add class name and the css. After that I will move on to creating the edit and delete button. Okay, here I have created transaction.css and I have added all the css. So you can see transaction container, table, t head, td, th, action buttons, and edit delete button. This I will add, but I have written the css already, so you can just copy it down or you can create it by your own. Okay, now I will go there and here I will import that. So I will come here, first import react. It looks nice only. And after this I will import styles. Let's save this, let's go and check the output. It should be nice, and you can see it is looking very great. But here many things are missing. Like if there is no description, because it is not the mandatory field, then I will just display no description. How we can display? Using or operator. Same like local storage, if data is not there, I was assigning empty array. Here also I will do that. Amount I have to show green or red. Okay, and here I have to add the two button. And also in category, in my hosted application I have added the emojis. Okay, so that also I will show you how we can add that. So let's go there, and here let's do the things one by one. First one was description. So this is our description. So if tx.description is present, then tx.description will be shown. Otherwise, no description will be shown. Yeah, that's it. And you can see it is working fine. Now let's go to the amount color. So in the color, what I will do, I will go to TD and I will add here class name. Okay, so here we will add the condition, and the condition will be that if my tx.type is equal to income. Okay, in the tx.type I will get the income or expense. If this is income, then I will take the class name as income. Otherwise, I will take the class name as expense. Fine, getting my point. Here it is assigning the class. Which class will be assigned will be based on this type. Now, instead of adding these two class in transaction.css, as this will be common, in the start only I have told you that we can add that inside index.css. So I will come here and I have already copied income. So you can see income color green and expense color red. Let's save this. Let's go and see whether it is working fine and not. And you can see it is working totally fine. Here we are getting the amount, but rupees mark is missing. So let's add that. To add rupees mark, I will come to tx.amount, and JavaScript provide us this dot to locale string. Okay, so this is provided by JavaScript only. This is a like a function, and in this we can pass some parameter. Like here I will pass ENIN. Okay, so this is like Indian, and then I will just write here style. Style will be my currency, and then we can specify the currency which we want. So currency will be INR. Okay, let's save this. Let's go and see the output, and yeah, it is coming. So good. Now let's move on to adding the emoji. So see, here adding the emoji is not an easy part because here the category can be anything. So one way is to add ternary operator for each category, like if this dot category is equal to salary, then add this. If that is grocery, then add this. That will be like 6 7 lines of code. So the better way is that what I will do, I will come up, and here I have already created the object. What is the object? It is made up of a key and a value pair. So I have created this category emojis, and it is having key, which is my category, and its emoji, key and the emoji. Now how we can access the array using the map or using like this, like existing transaction 0. So it will access the first element. If I add it here 1, it will access the first index. Okay, like it is accessing the index. In the same way we can access objects also like this. So to accessing the object, we can access it like category emojis, which is my object name, and then I can pass the key inside this. So if I pass here, you can see salary, then it will give me this. Getting my point? Not believing me? Let's console this. If you are having any doubt, just console it and see. You should learn debugging also, but I think it will be very harsh for you for the first video that I teach so much thing, and you can see I'm getting this. Fine. So what I will do, I will add this condition at the other place. So I will copy this thing. Okay, I will go down here. This is the category. Before this I have to show that. So I will add category emojis. In this we have to pass the category. From where I will get the category? Just think how I can get the category. This only na bro. Just copy this, paste it here. It will get me the category. Okay, and I will close this, and I will reopen and close this. Okay, this is fine. Let's save this. Let's go to application, and you can see we are getting the emoji also. Very good. Now let's add the action buttons. So I will come here. After this, I will add a TD. I hope you already know about TH, TD and all. If not, then watch some table video. It will be very helpful. Rest inside thing I have already covered. Okay, so no worries. Okay, inside this TD, I have added a two button with a class name. Just added class name and emoji and edit and delete. Okay, fine. Let's save this. Let's see the output. Oh, nice. Looking very good. Now we have to develop the click functionality. Like when I click on this edit, it should go to my add transaction page along with the data, and data should populate there. Okay. So this is what we have to do. But you know what? I will do this later. And if you are watching this video like continuously, I request you guys to take a break of 4 to 5 hours or at least one day, so that when tomorrow you come and you look at the code, you should understand. Like I think you have already gained so much knowledge, it will be like burden in your head. So I recommend you guys, whenever you are learning any programming language, anything DSA, web development or anything, just take a break and come to that code again and again, so that you will understand at which line why you are doing that. Because it might happen that tomorrow when you come here, you might not understand why I have written it like this. Then you will try to go through each and every lines of code, and it will be like a revision for you. So if you are watching this continuously, just go and take the break. This is enough as of now. Okay, it might have already been about 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so you can just go and take the break. But now after taking the break, let's go to the dashboard page, and there add the card to show the total expenses and total income. Okay. For dashboard, I will first go to app.js, and from here I can remove this, and let's add dashboard, and let's create another route, and it will be add transaction, and the element will be add transaction, which is my component. Correct. It should be imported. Fine. Now let's go to dashboard, and this is a normal. So let me just remove this, and let's create the basic structure. So you can see this is a basic structure, my main div. Inside my main div there is inner div, which is having dashboard and add to transaction. Okay, now let's create the style files, which will be dashboard dot css. In this I will paste the css, and here you can see this is my css as of now. I will save this. We'll come here, import react and import the styles. Save this. Let's go and check the output, and you can see I'm getting the output. But yes, the button is not looking good. That's fine. I will fix that CSS part later. Now let's come to the main point. Now after this, what we have to add? Okay, let me just open my hosted website. You can see after this label and the button, what I have to do, I have to show these three cards: current balance, total income, and total expense. So ideally this is like a small code. Okay, you can add it inside dashboard.css, but just to let you know what I will do, I will create another component which will contain these three. Then I will create another component which will store this, and this will be another component. Okay, so let's do this. So I will come here, go here, and let's create another component. Till now we were having only one component. Let's create another which will be transaction card.js. Let's create the basic layout. Okay, fine. I will go to dashboard, and here this was my main div. After this, this was my upper one. Okay, after this I will directly add that. So here I will add transaction cards. Okay, and let's see what I'm getting in the output. Okay, not this one, this. Okay, here I'm getting the card. Now let's style it and add card here there. Okay, first let me just add the balance card, and you can see what I have done. I have created a div with the balance card, and in that we are having a P and the H1. In H1 we will show my amount, but for now I am doing it hard coded. After this I will create another div which will be my summary card. This is another div because it will be having two card. One is income and the other one is expense. So let's create both the cards. Income card is also same as balance card, just change the name, class name, and total h3. Okay, that's it. If you can notice, class name is income, so that data will be shown in green color. Why? Because I've added the code in index.css. The same thing, I will add the expense card. Okay, my HTML is ready. I will save this and let's see the output now. And you can see my CSS has applied. Why? It is looking totally good. Do you know the reason? If not, then I'm disappointed with you. You should know the reason. And the reason is, this is the child component. It is called inside dashboard.js. Okay, like here it is called. So inside dashboard.css I have added all the css, so it will definitely apply here because of the parent child relationship. Okay, like you can see income card, summary card, and the expense card. This is added in a dashboard.css, and as transaction card.js is a part of dashboard.js, so it will take css from there. Now our cards are ready. Now let's pass the data from parent component to child component and populate all these three values. So you know what will be the balance? Balance will be income minus expense. And how we will calculate the income? The income will be calculated by doing addition of all the amount having type as income. Same thing, expense will be calculated by adding all the amount of transaction having type as expense. So how I can do that? For that I will go to dashboard.js, and here you can see, if I go here .css, I have added these two css. So my button is looking good. Okay, so you can also edit, you can just see here. Okay, now I'll go to dashboard.js. The first thing will be to create the for state. Okay, let me first create it, then I will tell you what is the reason. First let me create the for state. So these are the for state: transactions, total income, total expense, and balance. All these three we will pass to this child component. Okay, now we have to calculate all of this. How we will do? For that I will write here use effect. It will be callback, it will have dependency array, and it will be empty. Fine. In this, the first thing which we have to do, just think about it. We want income. From where we can get the income? From local storage. How? Const existing equal to json.parse local storage dot get item transactions. Okay, so I have got my transaction. Now what next? Next what I will do, I will store this transaction to my this state. Okay, so so that now this all these transactions are available in the whole page. So this is good. Now we have to calculate the income and the expense. For that I will create a local variable. Okay, this is a local variable, not a global variable. Income and let expense equal to 0. Now what we have to do, now we have to go through all the transaction. Okay, and based on a transaction type we have to increment income or expense. Okay, so we can go through all the transaction by using map also and for each also. The only difference is map return us the modified array, like it will give us the new array with a transformation, and for each will not return us the new array. This time I will show you for each. It is also same like map, so nothing to worry about. Here I will write existing transactions dot for each. So it will have element, and then I will just close this. You can notice here this is expression, and the reason is we are not showing the UI, so it should be like this only. Now I will write the condition that if my element, okay, element doesn't suit, we have used tx only, so let's use tx. This you can pass it anything. Okay, So tx dot type. If my tx dot type is equal to income, then what I will do? Then I will do income is equals to income plus tx dot amount. Getting my point? What it will do? 0. Currently it is 0. So 0 equal to, sorry, not 0. This will be income. So 0 plus 100. So it will be 100. Then next time it will be 100 plus the second amount. Then 300 plus the third amount. It can also be written it like this. And we can remove the income from here. Okay. Now here I will write if tx.type is not income, then it will be expense only. Here I can pass expense plus equal to tx dot amount. So here I am not consoling, but you should definitely console it and see how it is working. Okay, and after this I will assign all this variable to the state. Set total expense will be expense, set total income will be income, and set balance will be balance. One more thing, if you see here, I have assigned a transaction to this variable. Okay, so here instead of this existing transaction, can I use these transactions? And the answer is no, you cannot. Because at the start of the video, at the time of use state, I have told you that use state triggers the re-rendering of the application. So it will only be re-rendered once all of this code execution is done. So if you console this transaction here, okay, at this point it will give us null only, because it is not updated yet. It will be updated after this use effect or the particular function is completed. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that whenever you are setting the use state, you cannot use the useState variable. If you use that, you will get the previous data, not the updated one. Okay, if you didn't get that, then watch my video on useState versus useRef. There I have created a good example and shown the difference between both of them, and when to use useState and when to use useRef. Okay, fine. I will save this. Now I will go to transaction. Here, what are the things we have to pass? We have to pass balance, and balance will be balance only. This balance is any random variable which we will use there, but this refers to the state which is having the data. Same thing, income will be income, but here it will be total income. Getting my point? So this variable income is not accessible outside this use effect, because this is a local variable, not the use state. Here also I will come and here I will write expense equal to total expense. Save this, go to transaction card. Here we can accept data from props, but we can write it like this only. Like for props, we can write it props, and here I will write props dot expense, balance, and income. But here I can destructure it. This is known as destructuring. I can directly access income, balance, and expense. These three variable names should be same what we have assigned here. This one, not this one. Okay. So I will come here, and here instead of 100, I will write here balance. Here I can write income and expense. Save this. Oh, use state is not defined. Wow. Let's go up. Use state is not defined. Use state. Okay, fine. Save this. Come here. And you can see we are getting everything. Okay, like total income is 50,800, total expense, but I'm not getting the balance. Why? It is 0. What's the issue, man? So this is balance. So you can do control F to search. So I'm searching. Okay, here I'm setting the balance. Oh, sorry. It should be income minus expense. And I will show negative also. So this is fine. And you can see this is proper. I'm getting 49,100. This is my income and this is my expense. Nice. So this is how you can create a component and share a data through the component in order to make the component look clean. Okay, this is also done. Now let's create another card, and in that card, what I will do, I will show the recent transaction. Okay, like this. Here you can see this is the section of recent transaction. So let's create this. The chart one I will do at the end part of the video. Okay. So let's create this recent transaction card. I will create another component name as recent transaction. It will be same as table, just little difference. So I will make it quick. Let's create the structure. I will add return, and after return I will add just the fragment. Okay, and then I will add, here I can add recent transaction. Okay, save this. Let's go here, and here after transaction card we have to show two other cards. So here I will first create a upper div, then another inner div, and in this div I will call h3, which will is my header. Why I am putting the header here, I will let you know in some time. Okay, and after this h3 I can call my recent transaction component. See, here it is not compulsory that I have created it, but just to explain you how to create components and all, that's why I'm creating it. Okay, so I have called the recent transaction. Fine. Now from here in this transaction I'm already having all the data. Getting my point? So what I will do, I will come here and I will pass that transactions equal to, here also it will be transactions. Save this, go to recent transaction. Let's accept it by destructuring the array and it will also be transactions. Okay, fine. Here I will remove this. Now I can directly map over it because here we have to show the UI. So I will write here transaction. Okay, it is not coming. Why? We have to write it like this, curly bracket dot. Now here in the transaction I can get as many as transaction, 30, 40, anything, but in that I have to show only 10. So what I will do, I will write here dot slice. Slice is a method which divides the array based on the index you provide. So here I will provide -10. So what it will do, it will give me the last 10 records from the transaction, only last 10. Okay, then this transaction I will do reverse because that's how we are storing data in my local storage. Even if you don't do reverse, that's fine. After doing all this, we have a 10 data in proper sorted order, then I can apply the map. Okay, getting my point? And map, I think you already know. We can get tx comma index, and here I have to write it like this, and in this I will return li. In the li I can pass my key index, and from here you might already know. After this I will write here one span tag. In the span tag I have to assign the category tx.category. Here I also have to assign emojis. How I can assign the emojis? I can copy that object. Okay, this object I have copied it. Now before the category, what I have to show? I have to show emojis. How? Like this, category emojis, and here I can pass tx.category. Getting my point? This is very easy. Like, I think you already have did this, so no issue with this. Now here I will show my amount. Okay, now let's save this and let's check the output. And you can see I'm getting the output. This is totally good. This is same like the transaction. Okay. Now let me just add CSS and all the classes. Okay, I have added UL here and added all the classes I want: transaction item, transaction category, transaction amount, and also in dashboard.js. Here previously I had created two div and I have added the CSS, and then let me just go to dashboard.css. So till here I have already shown you. Then here this is for chart row so that I can create two cards. Then this is transaction unordered list, and this is transaction li. Okay, fine. Now let me show you the output. And in the output, you can see I'm getting it like this. It is coming like this because there is no chart section exist. Once we add that, it will take half of the width. But for now, this is looking good. And as a beginner, if you want, you can skip the chart part because just like React is a library, React Chart.js is another library. Okay, so if you want, you can skip that part. But if you want to make the application much more better, then chart is necessary. Okay, this is done. Now let's go to transaction and let's add edit and delete button. I think let's hold on this edit and delete and let's create this get code one. And the reason is simple, that from long time we have been working on this transaction thing. So you might be got bored. Okay, so let's create this get code and take some motivation. For that I will go to navbar.js, and here if we want, again we can create a new component, but for now I will do it here only. So you can see here, this is my get code. Currently it is link, but we will convert it to the button. But first let's create the model. For that what I will do, I will create two state. One is to store the quote. So I will just write here quote comma set quote. It will be null, and then is model open comma set is model open, and default will be false. Okay, then I will go to this nav bar and here I will add condition ternary operator only, which will be is my model open is true. That means I will render one UI. Okay, so here we can write it like this, that is model open, then it will show this. So in this I can specify div which will be my model overlay. In this I will have another div which will be my model content, and inside the content I will have quote which we will fetch from backend, a free API. Okay, so for now I am putting it quote only, and then we will have a button to close it, and its class name will be close button. Let's add the CSS. So I will go to my navbar.css, and after this I will add three more CSS: model overlay, model content, and close button. Okay, fine. You can copy this. I've also copied it from W3 school. So I'll go to navbar.js, and for now let's modify this condition that if this is false then show it. Now I will save this. Let's go and check the UI, and you can see the pop-up had opened. So this is totally working fine. Our model is created. Now we have to fetch the code and show it here. So to call the API, React provides us by default a function known as fetch. or if you want you can use a package known as Axios. So let's do that. So I will come here and I will create a function named as fetch quote. Okay, this is the another way of defining the function. You might already know because I have told you basic JavaScript is necessary. Now here we can just write fetch, and in this we can pass our URL to which we have to request. Okay, like input string URL. If you have a backend, you can give your backend URL, or if you have some free API, you can pass your free API. So what I will do for now, I will just comment this, save this. Let's go to the browser. Okay, and here I will just search for quotes API Vercel. Click on the second one, well 300 quotes API. This is the free API which I'm going to make use of. And if I scroll down, you can see this is how we can fetch the API. This is the API link. So I will copy this. So this is one way to fetch the API using dot. Then how it will work now. Here this will hit the URL. Obviously this URL or their server can take time. So this line will only be executed when this line give the response. Then it receive the response, then it convert to JSON. After this operation will be taken care. If any error is there, then catch will be executed. So this is known as promises, or we can say handling the things asynchronously. Okay, like if we don't add here, then what will happen, this line will take time like 3 seconds, but before this is executed, this all this will be executed and we will get error. So that's why it is necessary to use async and await or promises. This is the promises method. I will show you async and await one. So I will go here, and here what I will do, I will write here async. Async stand for asynchronous, and here I will create a variable name as data, and here I will assign await. Why await? Because we have to wait for this function call to be happen, this server call to be happen or completed. Okay, now this will wait until this line of code is completed. Once this is done, then only it will move to next. Okay, this I can make it to response. Getting my point? And here it will be data. And here I will again await, so that I want to convert this response to the JSON. This code is based on the promises, and the one which I am showing you is related to async and await. Here we can also add try and catch block like this. So I can put these things directly in the try block. And once I get the data, I can just console.log data. Okay, and here if I get some error, I can just console.log error. Getting my point? This is how you can catch the errors while fetching the API. How to call the API, how to send the data, like if you are doing login or register, we have to send the data also. That is known as a post method. That also you can do here using body. Okay, that I think it is not required at this time, so I will skip that. Now I will just go down, I will just remove this get, and I will add a div here. So here you can see I have added quote button, on click, fetch quote and get quote. Okay, here I have to add that emoji. Okay, fine, let's save this. Let's go here. Okay, this is okay. Here I have not added to close it. How we can close this? Just think about this. So here you can see this is a close button. So here I will write on click. Okay, and on click we can call the function like this, callback. And in this what I can write? Just think about this. Set is modal, and I will set it to false. There is no code where I am setting it to true yet. Okay, so I have removed this condition so that it will work properly. Now I will open the console, click on this get code, and you can see I've got the code. Life and death are like light and shadow, they are so subconsciously they awake, always look away from it. Oh, let's go. I didn't understand it, but that's fine. So you can see in the network tab, you can see whatever API call is made and what response you are getting. In the preview you can see the response, we are getting author and the code. So now what I will do, I will come here. That motivation was not good. So I will come here, inside data I am getting that. So in this code variable I will store that. So I will write a set quote, which is my state. Here I will write data.quote. Okay, and then I will scroll down. Here I am just showing the code. I can move it to this QUATE. Save this, this is my state. Now let's go there, click on this get code. Okay, the API call have made that, but the model is not open. Okay, I got it. It is because here we have to set is model open to true. My bad. Let's go there, click on get code, and you can see you can die anytime, but living takes true courage. Wow, nice. And you can see in this way you can call the API in React.js. Now our get code is also ready. Reset is just like a simple one. We can just clear our local storage dot clear item. So this I will cover in the last only. Now the remaining part are report, chart, and this transaction edit and delete one. So now let's do this thing. I will go to transaction.js. Okay, guys, if you are here till now and you haven't subscribed to my channel, then I request you guys to just go and like, share, and subscribe the video, and don't forget to share the video with your friends, and also make sure to add as much as comment you can, because I don't know about algorithm, but if you add more comment, my video might reach to more people, because I want to grow my channel and I think it will keep me motivated to make this type of content for long. Thank you. Now let's move on to the edit one. So this is my edit button. So here what I will do, I will create a function on click. So before creating a function, let's think about how we can edit a particular transaction. So here you can see this is my existing transaction, okay, and here I'm getting every transaction one by one. So what we can do, when I click on this edit transaction, I can pass the whole particular transaction which is selected to the function. Getting my point? Now first, whenever we click on this edit button, the particular transaction will be selected, and then we will navigate to my add transaction page, okay, and then at the time of navigation only we can send the data of the particular transaction while navigating. Then at add transaction page we will receive the data and will populate here. How will populate, how will handle the condition, that's different part, but first focus on how we can send the data from here to there. So I will come here, okay, and I will create a on click, and here I will just write handle edit, okay. In the same way I will write here handle delete, okay. I will make it like this because I will have to pass some data here as an argument. Okay, now let's come here and let's create handle delete function. First I will create the edit one. So if you think how we can access the transaction, I have already told you existing transaction, how we can access. We can access it like existing transaction comma 0 comma 1 comma 2, not comma but 1 to 3. And what is this 1 to 3? These are index. And if I show you here, here we are getting the index, so we can directly pass the index, get it here, and then we will be able to get the transaction. Simple. Let's do that. So I will come here, I will pass the index from here. Again here I will pass the index, go up, remove this, and here I will add edit transaction equal to my existing transactions, and here I can pass my index, and from here I have shared it, so here I can receive it also. Okay, fine. Now from here we have to navigate to add transaction, so I will just write here navigate, okay. So here comes the new hook name as useNavigate. So how we used to navigate previously, we used to navigate using link. So when we use the link, whenever we have a particular item, button, link, or a image, so that when we click on that and we navigate, but here we have to navigate between the function, so we can use the use navigate. So I will come here and create a variable name as use navigate, sorry navigate, and here I will use navigate, which is a hook provided by React Router DOM only. Then I will come here and I can directly write navigate. Here I can pass the location, which is add transaction, from where I am getting this add transaction. Just recall it, inside app.js, inside router, this one. Come here, add transaction. Now along with this I can pass data also. How? Here I will pass object, it will be state, and in the state I can pass my data. Data will be like this, transactions, not transaction, just transaction. This is the name of the variable which we can give, so you can give it anything. And here I will pass triple dot edit transaction. This is a safe way to pass all the data comma index. Okay, here it should not be comma, it is like state, so I am assigning this state will store my data. In the state I will have transaction which will have all the data, okay. So from here I am sharing the edit transaction which will have all the transaction to edit, just one only, but we can use the spread operator, no issue with that, it will pass all the data and the index. Fine. Now let's save this and let's see whether this is working or not. So handle delete is not defined, oh my bad. Let's come here and let's define handle delete also. When I click on this edit, you can see I have been navigated here. So this is totally working fine. Now I have to get the data. Let's move on to add transaction. So here I will come and here I will use one more hook, which is location, which we have already used. So here I will write const location equal to use location. So in the location we have already got the path. So let's see what more location can offer. Okay, and after this, I will just scroll down, and here let's create the use effect. And this use effect will be called every time there's a change in the location. Okay, this is known as dependency array. So here what I will do, I will just console.log location.state. Let's save this. Let's go to our application, open the console, and in the console you can see I've got the object, and inside the object I'm getting the transaction. Okay, you don't believe? Let's go to the transaction, remove this, and this is having 800. Okay, sorry, 50,000. Let's go to the 50,000. Click on edit. Here I have a transaction, and in this you can see I'm getting the data. I just have to populate this data to here. Now how I can populate? That's the question. So I will come here. Here if I directly assign it like set description equal to location dot state dot transaction dot description, then there will be one issue. What? When you visit for the first time and location dot state is empty, at that time also this will run. So that should not be the case. So for that what I will do, I will add the condition here that if location dot state is true, and my transaction is also present, that is location dot state dot transaction, all these two conditions are present, then only I will assign the variable. So here I will write const transaction. This is like destructuring, and from where I will destructure it, from location dot state. Okay, so this we can also write it like this, transaction, and just remove this, so anything is fine, but destructuring one is better. Now what I will do, from here I can just assign set type equal to transaction dot type. That's it. Let me do it for all other. Let's save this and let's check the output. And you can see whatever data we are getting it here, we are populating it here. Let's go to a transaction. Let's select this 901, edit, and you can see it is populated. Why description is not there? Let's see. And you can see description is empty. That's why it is empty. So this is totally working fine. Now you know whenever we come from edit, we don't have to show add here because we have to update a transaction. Like we have to update the existing transaction. When user will click on this, it should not add the new one. It should update the existing one. So let's tackle that. For that, what I will do, I will come here and let's create two new state. One will be transaction comma set transaction, and other one will be edit index. Okay, fine. Now what I will do, inside this function, I used to fetch our local storage. So I will remove it from here. Okay, and then I will add it inside our use effect. And then whatever data I am getting here, I will set that inside my transaction. Why I am doing this? Because whenever there's change in this variable now, so we might have to re-render. And that re-rendering will not be possible because this is a const. Re-rendering is only possible in set state, use state. So that's why I am putting here existing transaction. Okay, getting my point? So this is done. Now let's come to this function. We have to modify this function fully, so let's go one by one. What are the scenarios in this function and how we can tackle this? Let's assume of the second scenario. So for second scenario, user click on this handle at transaction. All the data is present. Okay. We are checking the field validation. Then we are forming the data. And after that, we are forming the new transaction. Now this existing transaction will be replaced to just transaction, which is my state. Okay. And rest is fine. Now there will be another scenario that user clicked on the edit. When user clicked on the edit, and now when he clicks on add transaction, what we have to check, how we can differentiate if user came here from edit or user came here as a fresh session. We can track it through this edit index. So what I will do, I will come here and in the use effect, I will just assign here set edit index, and it will be set to transaction.index, which we are already passing. I hope you have not forget it. Let me show you here index we are passing, and here index we are setting it to null. Then I will add condition here that if my edit index is equal to null, that means user has come here for a fresh session. Okay, so I will just paste this line, const new transaction. Okay, so this, what I will do, I will copy this, come here, paste it, and I will make it as let, and here I will remove this. Okay, and the reason is because we have to assign it here also and in the else also. So that's why I have to make it as let. If this is const, I will not be able to assign it. So now this is new transactions. Okay, and it is the mixture of the previous transaction which is fetched from my local storage and my current transaction. Now if edit index is not null, that means user have come here after clicking on the edit. In that condition, what I will do? In that condition, I will assign new transactions equal to my current transaction. Okay. So now this new transaction is having all my current transaction. Like if we are having 5, then again we are having 5. It is like this only. Here just we are adding one extra. Here I am not adding it. I am just assigning it. And after this, what I will do? How I will find the particular transaction? I have to update using index. So here I can pass new transaction. Here I can pass index. Sorry, edit index. Getting my point? So in this, all my transaction I have stored, that you have already understood. Here I am accessing that using edit index. And then I will assign it to my current transaction. Got how we will update? So here, if edit index is null, that means user is adding a new. So new transaction was null previously. Then here I am assigning it all the transaction plus new transaction. Here what I am doing, I am assigning all the transaction here, and then I am finding my existing index in that transaction and replacing it with my current transaction. Getting? And here all of this will be same. Let's save this. The same thing we can do for the message. Like I will add the if else condition. So let's do that. Here I have added the condition if my edit index is not null. That means edit index is having some data. That means we are doing the update. And here I have added a type, whether it is expense or income. So let's save this. Let's go and check. So I came here and let me just open the local storage. So currently it is having 4. Okay, let's go to transaction and let's go to 801. This is 800 and I will make it as 8000. Click on the add transaction. Income updated successfully. Okay, and you can see it has been changed to 8000. Getting my point? And now the only remaining thing is this add transaction. We have to make it as update transaction. So that also is easy. I will come here. This is add transaction. I can just add condition. What condition we will add? If edit index is not equal to null, sorry, is equal to null, then add transaction. So this should be string like this. Otherwise, update transaction. Save this. Let's go there. I will go to this 50,000 and make it as 80,000. Okay, this here I'm getting update transaction. Click on this, income updated successfully, and we are good. Here also I've got 80,000. Nice. This is also done. Now the only remaining thing is the chart one. Oh, sorry, I missed the delete one. Delete one is very easy. Let's go and do that. We have to go to transaction.js. This is handle delete. Here I'm getting index. So here I will add const updated transaction equal to, I am having all my transaction inside this. So I will copy this, paste it here. Dot filter will filter all the data based on the condition which it does not satisfy. Okay, so here I will pass data comma I. Data is not required, only I is enough. And here it will filter all the result which is having I is equal to index. Okay, so here what it will done, suppose existing transaction is having 5 0 1 2 3 4 5, and here this index which we are getting is having 1, so it will skip that one and it will return us the remaining 4. So in updated transaction, we will have one deleted index. No. Sorry, we will have remaining 4 except the current index. So that is how the filter works. Filter is a part of JavaScript only. You can check that. And then here I can just add here local storage dot set item, because we will have to update our whole transactions. So that's why we have to write it like this: transactions, comma JSON dot stringify my updated transactions. Let's check the output. Let's come here. Let's go and let's delete this one. Okay, you can see when I clicked on delete, it is deleted from here, but it is still present here. If I refresh this, then you can see it is deleted. Why? Now I want you to tell me the reason in the comment. Make sure to tell me the reason in the comment, whether you identified by yourself or did I explain you. Okay, so the reason is simple. We are using existing transaction to show in the table. Existing transaction is a normal variable, not the state. So definitely it will not cause the re-render. So now what I have to do, I will again create a state name as transaction comma set transaction. Getting my point, how to use this use state, when to use the use state, when to use the use effect, why re-rendering is important. All of this you can focus here and remember every time. It will be empty array. Now here also I will have to call use effect. In the use effect, I will get this and I will assign it to my transactions, and here I will pass empty dependency injection. Okay, here don't pass transaction because it will be infinite loop. Why? If you pass transaction here, then this will be executed. What it is doing, it is updating transaction only, so again it will run and it will run till infinite. Okay, so here I will scroll down. Instead of edit transaction, I can directly pass here transaction, and this is fine. This edit transaction, existing transaction, this should be transaction. Again scroll down, existing transaction, this should be transaction, and fine. Let's save this, let's go, let's reload this. Okay, let's delete this 800, delete. Okay, still it is not updating. I think I made some mistake or what. Okay, okay, here you can see, here I am updating local source.set item, but I am not updating the state. Here also we have to update the state because this transaction is coming from the state only. So here I will pass set transaction, updated transaction. Okay, my bad, I have missed this. Let's go check the output. 2 is remaining. Let's delete 8001 and you can see it is deleted. So this is totally working fine. Now let's move on to the last part of showing the charts. For the chart, we have to go to Google and search for React Chart JS2. This is also a library and this is very huge. So to refer to the documentation, we can go to this repository, and if we scroll down, we can click on this component and here we can get chart bar. So I will be showing the bar here. So here I will get whole documentation, no issue, I have already created. So what I will do, I will come here, copy this, go to my code, stop my server, run this npm I react chart js2. After this also install npm I chart.js. These two we have to install. Start your server, then I will come here, let's go to dashboard. Here I'm not going to create another component, I will add here only. So I will first import bar from react chart.js2. After this, I will import many things from chart.js like chart, category scale, linear scale, bar, title, tooltip, and legend. Okay. After this, we have to register the chart. So I will come here and I will just write chart.js dot register. In this, I can pass everything: category, linear scale, bar element, title, tooltip, and legend. Okay. Why we have to do this? What is the alternative? That I'm not going to talk. It is just like I have to show the chart, that's why I'm doing it. Okay, after this we have to supply data to the chart. For that I will create a state name as category data, and also in the chart what I am doing now, suppose we are having a expense as 10, so in the data y column it should have expense till 20, so that there will be a gap, so that chart will look good. So that's why I will create category data and max expense. Okay, this is done. After this I will create a array of categories because we have to show that in the x-axis. So this is the categories. After this I will just scroll down and here I will write categories. So I am looping over all the categories dot for each, so that I will get all the category one by one, and here I will be assigning it to, I will create another variable category breakdown. Okay, and it will be assigned to cat. So here I am assigning a data to it. It will be object. Okay, so this is like I'm assigning a data to the category. So here it is having all my category, I'm looping the for each, and then I'm writing a category breakdown. In that I'm assigning the cat. So suppose category breakdown will be empty, then it will contain salary. Okay, which will first be 0, then it will contain groceries, which will again be 0. So here I'm assigning it, I am forming this category breakdown. Okay, getting my point? So this is fine. Now how I can assign the value, real values to here? Same like this. So income, that is fine because our graph is of expense, so we have to only assign expense here. So I will add here category breakdown. In this I have to first assign the category, so it will be tx dot category. Getting my point? Equal to category breakdown only. It is same like this, income equal to income plus tax amount. Here also I am doing that, but there might be chance this category will be empty or something else, so I will assign 0 here, plus my tx dot amount. Getting? This is same as this one, just here I am not sure whether all it will always have a data, so I am assigning a 0 here. Okay, this is fine, I will save this. Here I also have to calculate the max expense. So what I will do, I will create another variable, let highest expense equals to 0. Then here I will come and here I will add condition. So if my category breakdown is greater than high expense, I am assigning highest expense to category breakdown. Okay, so that's fine. Now at last, along with this, I will also assign these two variables. So category data, and it will be category breakdown. And at last I will assign max expense and it will be highest expense. So see, this part might be confusing, but that's fine. Okay, but category data should have understood that here I am generating the salary plus its amount. What amount, how I am generating and the amount, doing category breakdown, either 0 plus whatever amount I'm getting, whatever expense I'm getting. Okay, so till here we are good. After this, let's assign x and the y axis. For that, I will just copy paste the code. So you can see here I've created a chart data. Here we have to pass the label. In the label, what I am passing, I am passing the categories. What is the category? These things. So this will come in the x-axis. Okay, then here I am passing my label of the graph, so it is expense per category. This is the whole data set. Okay, so here I am passing the data. How I am passing the data? Categories dot map category data. Okay, and what is the category data? It is this state. Getting my point? That's why I have created category breakdown, and it is object only because you can see here we are creating that object. Getting my point? This 48 we are creating the object, and here I have assigned each background color, different background color to everything. And here this is a chart option, like I have to hide the background, I have to increase the height of the each column. That's why this is optional. If even if you don't add this now, your graph will look good. But I have added this so that our graph will look much more better. Now let's move down, and after this transaction row, sorry, inside this, let's add the graph. So for that, what I will do, I will add one div, and here I will add expense by category. After this, I will add another div, and in this I will add bar, and bar will take only two data. The first one is our actual data, which is chart data, and options, which is the modification of the layout. So here I will pass chart options. Getting my point? Save this. Let's go and check the output. Reload this, and you can see I'm getting the data. But expense by category, nothing is coming, and it is also not looking good. And you can see there's nothing, but still it is showing us some height. Why? It is because of the condition which we have added highest expense. So now let's go to transaction. For now, let me just edit this only, make it as expense, update transaction, updated successfully, go to dashboard, and you can see I'm getting the salary, and it is expense per category 80,000. So the graph is not looking good because I have to add the CSS. So let me just add it quickly. Okay, I have added the class name. Let's go to the dashboard.css, and let me just add the CSS. You can see I've added these three. You can copy. Let's save this. Let's go there, and you can see it is looking totally fine. So we are done with our dashboard thing, and it is totally looking good. Okay guys, I think we are going good, and I hope I have explained each and everything, and I hope you have learned also, like not just watch the video and create it, but you have actually learned about React, how it works, what are the important things while making the application. Like if you have seen this application, we have copied many things, but each thing affect the other. So you should be able to understand where to make the change in order to fix your issue. So now moving on, we have to fix the null check operator. Like if I go to transaction, currently here we are having one recent transaction and expense by category. If I go to transaction, let's delete this. So what I'm getting empty header. This is not looking good. Go to dashboard, I'm getting this empty. No, this is not fine. So what I will do, I will create a layout which will say us that no transaction exists. Okay, for this I am going to install React icons. So search for React icons. Yeah, this one, React icons. Let's go and install it. So I will come here. Let's stop this. npm I React icons. How you can use it? You can use it. You can come to this website, search for anything. So like page, and you can see you will get all of these things. You can click any of the title, and you can use it in your application like this. Okay. So what I will do, I will go here, go to my application, go to components. Let's create a new component, name as no transactions. Let me add the basic layout. You can see I have added a layout. I have also imported the icon like this. far file invoice dollar. So if I show you here, I can go here, just search for invoice. This is the icon. Sorry, not this one, this one. So I copy this line, same like this, and you can pass it here. We can also pass class name and style it. Okay, so this is done. Now let's create the CSS file. Let's paste the CSS. This is the only CSS. Let's save this. Go to transaction, import it, save this. Now we have to go to dashboard. Okay, here I will come, and here you can see we are showing recent transactions. So we don't have to show recent transaction when this recent transaction is having zero data. So what I will do, I will add this condition which is ternary operator, and I will write condition that if transactions, which is my state, dot length is equal to 0, that means no data exists. Then I will show here null, otherwise I will show here recent transactions. So sorry, not here null, I will show here no transaction, my component. Okay, let's save this, let's go and check the output, and you can see here I'm getting this message, and this is looking totally fine. So in this way you can add condition so that you can manipulate and make your UI look good. Same thing we can add for this, but here we directly cannot add the chart data because there are so many things. So what I will do, I will come here and I will add this condition that if my chart data dot data set 0 is dot data, every value is equal to 0, that means all of the value, like here inside this category data, what we are doing, we are forming the object, like this category breakdown where it gone. Here we are forming the object. If all the object is having the value as 0, okay, that means none of the bar will exist. So at that point I am showing the no transaction. Okay, you can learn about every, this is also from JavaScript only. Okay, so why I haven't used length, because this category data or chart data will always have five categories, but in the category we have to see whether each category is having zero data, then only we will show this. Okay, so this is fine, let's save this, let's come here, and you can see I'm getting here also the same thing I can do in the transaction.js also. So I will go here, and here this is the table which we are showing, this table. So what I will do, I will come here and I will just add the condition that if transaction dot length is equal to 0, then show no container, no transaction, otherwise show this table. Save this, let's come here, let's go to transaction, and you can see we are getting it totally fine. So now let's look onto this reset one. I will go to navbar, I will scroll down, and this is as of link as of now, so I will remove this and I will make it as button, and here we have to create this function handle reset. So I will come here and let's create this function. So I have also shown you different ways to create the function handle reset like this. Okay, in this what I will do, I will just write here local storage dot clear storage. Okay, clear, so it will clear everything, and after this we have to navigate to. Okay, so let's create the navigation. So I will write here const navigate. How we can navigate, just tell me in the comment, use navigate. Okay, guys, don't forget to comment to this video if you are watching till here, because it will help me to grow my channel and also keep me motivated. Okay, so like this, save this, let's go here, and when I click on this reset, you can see I'm navigating to dashboard. Fine, and this add transaction is not working, so let's fix that also. So I will go to dashboard.js. This is add transaction, and here I can just write on click equal to navigate, and we have to navigate to add transaction. Here also I will have to create a navigation, so I will come up const navigate equal to use navigate, and it should be imported from React Router DOM. Okay, fine, let's save this, let's come here, go to add transaction. Okay, it is going here. Let's add a transaction as an expense. Let's add an income. I will go to transaction, and I have added three of them. Here I see only two. Okay, let's go to dashboard, go to add transaction, and let me see in the application. Okay, there are two. Let me add one more quickly. I think there is some issue. Okay, this is added fine. Let me add one more, and when I click on add transaction, okay, this is also no, it is overwriting the last one. Okay, in the same session. Okay, I think there is something wrong. Let's go. I'll go to add transaction, and here uh, we are setting it. Okay, new transaction also we are setting. Fine, this is fine. This is fine. Local storage we are setting. This is also fine. Oh, okay. I think here we have to set the transaction, okay, to new transaction. So let's save this. Now let's check the output. So I will do it here 800 again. One more add transaction and fine. Okay, let's try one more time. This should be income. And yeah, it is working totally fine. I think I missed that line. So we have to update the state because we are rendering that only, na? So we will have to update that. Okay, fine. Now let me just go to transaction. Okay, everything is coming. Guys, just one more thing. This report section, I have already written the code. I have already written the CSS. I'm going to explain you, but that section you will have to create because whatever code is written in that, that is already covered in the dashboard and the transaction one. Okay. So like I have used filter and all. So I'm not going to totally write that code in front of you. I have already written it. I will explain each and every line, but I will request you guys to just go through my explanation and then close the video and do it by yourself because that is very easy. Like that might seems to be difficult, but report section is also very easy. Let me show you the code. Okay, I have copied the code of the report.js and report.css. Okay, so this is the CSS report container, data filter label, input, summary card, income expense chart container, chart item, chart wrapper, and canvas. Okay, and if I show you report.js, okay, let me just explain you here. So first let me just go to the UI. This is my expense report, which is my header. Then here I am showing the calendar, so that whichever month is selected only I have to show that value, and whatever month I am selecting I am storing that in the state. Okay, and here I am showing the total income and total expense based on that month. So let's see how I'm setting this. So here I have created this transaction. Okay, and this inside the use effect I am fetching the transaction from local storage and I'm storing this. This part is simple. Then here I have stored the selected month in the form of this new date.iso string.slice. Okay, and then this is total income, expense, and the category data. Category data is a graph part, so we can skip this. And then inside the use effect, so see I am using two use effect. One is the one which will run only one time, and this will run every time there is change in transaction or selected month, like every time you select the month. So here what I'm doing here, also I am filtering based on the date. At that time I was filtering based on the index. Now I am filtering based on the date. So whoever data, whoever transaction whose date is start with this, I will get only that date. In the previous example I was using not index, like if there are 5 index, then I don't want the particular index which I mentioned. Here I'm doing opposite, I want the date which I mentioned. So I'm getting the filtered data here, and here I have created income, expense, and the category breakdown same like the before. And here I have filtered dot for each if tx dot type income amount. Here I'm creating the amount income, creating the expense like doing plus, and category breakdown same thing I'm assigning here. Okay, this is the pie chart configuration and this is a bar chart configuration. Okay, and this is again the chart options. So these are all the same. And if I scroll down, so this is object.keys. Here I am showing the pie chart, and at last here I am showing the bar chart and also showing the no transaction. So I don't think anything is complicated here or anything is new. Only this logic you should learn and you should implement by yourself by watching the video. I have not explained it everything, but you should watch because this thing we have already covered. Okay. So if I show you the output, you can see currently we have selected March and everything I'm getting. If I select the Feb one, I will get nothing and I'm showing this icons. And if I get April, still it is nothing, but that's fine. I have done this. So I think our whole application is created. Now the only remaining part is deployment. That also I will show you. But before that, I request you guys to leave the comment for me. Tell me how was your learning experience. Only reports part, I am leaving it to you guys. I have already explained the code and that code I have already explained in the previous sections also. So I think this will be easier for you. Just let me know in comments how helpful this video was for you. Now let's move on to the deployment. For deployment, I will go to GitHub. I hope you already know Git and GitHub, and here I will create a new repository name as React Expense Tracker. I will make it as private. Do you want the code? Let me know in comment. For now, I will make it as private. Click on this create repository. Then these are the command we have to run. So I will copy this one Then I will go to my CMD. I have already set up everything in the CMD. So here I will run git init. Then we have to run git add, then git commit m first commit. Then I think we will have to run git branch m main. Then setting the remote repository, and at last this line. I have covered almost each and important topic of a React as a project point of view, but there are many things remaining like context API, Axios, useref. These things are like when you have already built one project, then only you will understand the use case of that features like use memoization, use callback. Those are the topic which can be explained in the 10 minutes only, but this concept is always better to learn afterwards, like when you know the fundamental of React, what is rendering, what is route, how to share data between the pages through navigation, through state, through props, like that. After that, you will understood the actual use case of this heavy functionality like context API, use memo, use callback, and other things. I'm going to make the dedicated video on all of these things, to make sure to stay tuned on my channel. Also related to the React router, I have a dedicated video in which I have shown private and the public routing also, like user who is logged in, user who is logged out, user who is admin, user who is user, all will have different route. So you can check out that also. For now, what I will do for hosting, I'm going to use the Vercel. So I will go to Vercel and let's see whether the code is updated or not. So you can see the code is uploaded. Nice. I will go to Vercel. I'll click on this login button. Here, make sure to log in with the GitHub account. So click on this continue with GitHub. Let me just quickly sign up. So I will click on this sign up button. I'm working on personal project. Continue with GitHub. Now again click on this continue with GitHub. So I was not signed up. So I first signed up and now I'm doing the login. So you can also do the same thing. Make sure to continue with GitHub so that it will be very easy to get the repository. And you can see I have been logged in. Now from here I can import a project. So I will just click on this import, and you can see here I've got the GitHub account, and this is the repository, but this is not the repository which I have created. So let's click on this adjust GitHub app permissions. Here you can select the repository which you want to give access to the Vercel. So I will select this and I will search for the React expense tracker, this one. So because I have made my repository as a private, that's why I have to do all of this thing. If you have made your repository as a public, then this much thing you will not have to do. So now I'm getting my repository. I will click on this import and project name React expense tracker, framework create React type, root directory you should choose. So if you see our structure here, it is directly public src and all. Okay, suppose your code is inside a client, so here you will have to specify the client, but my code is directly here only inside the main, so I don't have to do anything. Okay, I will click on this deploy button and let's wait for a few minutes and it will be deployed. By the time, again I'm reminding you to just let me know in comments how you found this video, and please share the video on your Instagram handle and tag me so that my channel will also be promoted. Let's wait for it to finish, and you can see my project is deployed. I have got this message. I can just scroll down and click on this continue to dashboard. This is my project and this is the link. So I will click on this and you can see my expense tracker has opened here. Let's add the transaction. If you show this project to anyone, they will not believe that the backend is not integrated here. Like it is totally as smooth as the backend application, and nobody will be able to differentiate between whether there is a backend or not. Oh, I have written backend here, my bad. And click on add transaction. 2 should be added. Transaction 2 is there. Dashboard. Oh, nice. 2 we are getting. This is also we are getting. Go to transaction. Get code. Get some motivation. Okay, the motivation is too long. I don't want it. Let's go to edit. Let's make it as 1000. Let's update the transaction. Updated successfully. Let's again go to transaction. 1000. Let's go to the dashboard and fine. Everything is working totally smooth. So that's it for the video. I hope you have understand each and every lines of code in this video, and you have learned the React very well, so that from now on you will be understanding every React code written in the world. So thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like, share and subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Thank you.